Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to Caterer Oval at St Peter's College for this Division 1 footy matchup on Saturday afternoon, round 3. It's St Peter's Old Collegians and Sacred Heart Old Collegians doing battle for the 2 premiership points on a beautiful day. This is Jack Moore, and alongside me is Jack Banwell. Jack, good afternoon to you. This one shapes up to be a cracker over Anzac Day weekend.
Yeah, good afternoon, mate. Yeah, it certainly is. There's just a bit of cloud cover coming over as we speak, but most of the morning it's been bright sunny skies, and yeah, like you said, shapes up to be a beautiful day of footy.
Shortly we're going to cross over to the Anzac Day ceremony here at St Peter's. All clubs doing a fantastic job of honouring our Anzacs this round. So far, 2 results. On Thursday, Port District went down at home to a rampant Glunga Rams, and Broadview beat Prince Alfred by a comprehensive margin at home for their first win of the season. Other games happening right now and this afternoon include Bryden Bombers and Golden Grove, and Payneham Norwood Union and Tea Tree Gully. All those games live and exclusive here on Filming Footy. We're here, of course, thanks to our sponsors, Sports Interactive, the Div 1 Adelaide Footy League, our scoreboard sponsors, Sportal and Hahn Ultra Low Carb, great taste, Ultra Low Carb. How good? Filming Footy, our footy stats, Dartfish on the replay screen, and Farmer's Leap, Roll the Dice Racing, and of course our best on ground Windsor pair of Archie's Thongs, Archie's Elite in comfort for your feet.
We also are on the lookout for a goal of the week, mark of the week, and snag of the day. Mark of the week brought to you by Bianco. Winner receives a $100 voucher. Goal of the week brought to you by Wakefield Sports Clinic. And snag of the day today here at St Peter's, if we see a good snag, we are giving away 1 kilo of gourmet sausages thanks to our sponsor Jag Meatworks. Who will win the snag of the day?
Indeed, of course, see all the winners to these weekly awards on the Tommy Javor-led Between the Posts footy show on the Filming Footy social media pages and the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page. That hits download about Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon. Of course, our 5 live streams of Div 1 every week, every Saturday afternoon. We're brought to you by Classic Clashes. Proud to announce the media truck is now live and operating and is a first across Australian media. With a massive Sportal screen on the side and commentating facilities above, we are capable of broadcasting a multitude of events, including sports of all types, community events, film nights, and much more. We will be announcing shortly when the truck will be in SA and available to view, showcasing the many options available. In exciting news, we have sponsor and collaboration places available, including naming rights and advertising options for 2025. Don't miss this huge opportunity to create a unique way to bring brand awareness to your valued customers, potential customers, sponsors and supporters. Classic Clashes, celebrating grassroots greatness. Just Google and search Classic Clashes and Dartfish today. All right, on to this afternoon's fixture, and 2 sides come in with mixed form lines. Shock sit 3rd on the table, 2 wins and 0 losses. Last week had a pretty tight, narrow win against Payneham Norwood Union. It was tight all day, 1 point at quarter time, down by 5 at the half, and up by 3, and the final margin 4 points. And a pretty handy first round victory against Tea Tree Gully. They were down by 19 points at half time in that one and came back to win by 22. So almost a 7-goal swing for the Shockers. Well, for Spock, they come in unfortunately in 8th position, 0 wins and 2 losses, but both their games have been against some pretty strong teams. Last week going down to Golden Grove by 27, and in round 1 Prince Alfred by 17, despite leading that one at quarter time. So both Alex Colotto, player coach for Shock, and Michael O'Leary, coach for Spock, will equally rate their chances of a win today.
Yeah, I certainly agree. I think St Peter's, although their 0-2 record doesn't showcase a whole lot, I think they'll give themselves a red-hot chance today. They've been competitive in both games. Unfortunately, just some lapses in concentration or some skill errors potentially in some quarters in the first two games have just cost them a bit dearly. Round one conceded 5 and 4 goals to PAC and only scored 1 themselves, and that proved to be the difference in round one. And in round two, a 6-goal to 1/3 quarter to Golden Grove proved to be the difference in that margin as well, going down by 27 points. So they did lead the scoring shot Spock, 10 goals, 19. So if they can convert today, make the most of their chances. In saying that, they might not get too many. Sacred Heart's defence is one of the best in the comp, so they'll need to convert their opportunities when they do arise.
Indeed, well encapsulated and summarised, Jack. This match shapes up to be a pretty good contest, and weather conditions are pretty still, so no excuses. We'll now cross over and join with St Peter's and Sacred Heart, and of course our umpiring team for our Anzac Day ceremony. And shortly after, we'll have the first centre bounce of this round 3 matchup. As we see across all footy leagues and sport codes across this Anzac Day weekend, a remembrance and commemoration ceremony done yet again with the ultimate skill and factor of remembrance and thanks for all those who gave their lives and are still serving on behalf of our country and, of course, New Zealand. So move on to about a minute or two before the first bounce in this one, and the umpires this afternoon in the field: Cameron McLeod, Matty Harris and Marek Carls. The boundary: Peter McMullen, Henry Yelland, and in the goal, Daniel Harold and Jason Collard. Ben McGill's 100th game, number 9 for Spock, so keep an eye out for him. And the captains for Spock: Edward Allen leads the team with Nick McGill and James Higgins as his vice captains, and Clayton Simons once again leading Sacred Heart in the white strip in the number 9. And as mentioned earlier, Alex Colotto in the number 39, the player coach for Shock.
Yeah, as we just see what the toss of the coin is going to be. In recent results last year, between these two sides, Shock got the chocolates in both, winning by 22 points and 45 points respectively. Some players to potentially look out for that featured well in both games. Cam Rankin, who comes into the side today for Sacred Heart, number 10, and Hamish Allen for St. Peter's, number 27. So both of those guys look to play well again today. One notable absentee today for Sacred Heart is Tristan Kakuro. Yes, Tristan Kakuro is absent from the side today. He has been influential so far in season 2024, kicking 3 goals, 2 goals in round 1 and 1 goal in round 2. And he was their leading goal kicker in 2023 with 38 goals, so certainly a reliable contributor. Will be missed for Sacred Heart today.
Yeah, one, I was lucky enough to cover Shockers a few times last year, and definitely someone that opposition teams and defences found it hard
goal sneak
to control. Yeah, for sure. All the experience, of course, playing with Alex Colotto at Sanford level, and if you didn't know, watching today, Colotto, of course, comes with all the experience in the world, having played 162 games at South Adelaide in the reserves and the league as well. So plenty of players on both sides with sample experience.
Just on Kakuro, I noticed that he played up until round 17 and missed the final series where Shock unfortunately went out in straight sets. So I don't want to put the moz on him, but it sounds like he is a very influential player for Sacred Heart and could be a very key absentee today.
Indeed. Who they do have out there, though, is, of course, Captain Clayton Simons, inspirational leader of this team. Played a couple of seasons across Glenelg's under-18s and reserves, and also a few others to keep an eye out for. Is a new player for Shock this year, number 21, Luis Benito. 3 goals last week. Had some time at Westminster Foss and South Mildura in the Sunraysia Football Netball League, and also Sean Tapp, who will probably start in the ruck. See if Colotto puts himself in the number 24. See Shawnee Tapp going into the middle now. He's had some experience with the NT Thunder and Glenelg Reserves and League. While for Spock, they've also got a few players who have experience. John Vrodos played footy in Darwin at the NTFL level and Rovers in Central Australia. Marcus Roberts played for Broadbeach in the Quaffle in the Queensland League. And a few others, including Jordan Lockwood, who has played 189 games for Spock and represented SA in the amateur champs going back a few years. And of course, as mentioned already, Ben McGill in the 9, playing his 100th game for the club. So round 3, all is in readiness. Jack Moore and Jack Banwell on the filming footy call, and umpire Marek Carls has the red Sharon in hand, just double checking everything's all good to go. He's going to hold it up and we're going to get underway. Round 3 footy live from Caterer Oval on this Saturday afternoon.
Sirens goes. Ball is up in the air from the umpire. 2 rucks go at it. We've got Stuart Rattray in ruck for St. Peter's and Bradley Noble in the ruck for Sacred Heart as the ball's just fumbling around in the centre of the ground. Umpires picked out a free kick to Sacred Heart and they're off and they're racing. Cam Rankin just picks up the fumble there. Scrubs a kick inside 50 into the pocket. Well picked up by the forward and equally good tackle there by Nick Wilsden, fullback for St. Peter's, and the umpire will call for a ball up.
Strong start from Wilson, 177 games for Crystal Brook, a key cog in defence.
Colotto wins the ruck tap. Shark by McAuliffe and he's well tackled.
Interesting note on St. Peter's, they survived relegation by just the 1 premiership point last season, stormed home, looking to go one better and make finals in season 2024.
Certainly, it's cleared by Nick McGill. He finds a little short one, just right into it, right into the pocket, right in front of us here. It's in the hands of Ed Colley, who comes into the side for round 3. That goes inboard to Vrodos. It's just at his toes. Sacred Heart looks to mop this up and go inside 50. Picked up well by Wilsden. And it's cleared by Belpiero. He goes out to the outer side to Hamish Allen, one of those blokes to look out for. Featured in the best in this matchup last year. Ed Allen just slightly fumbles, gets tackled, clears a kick away with Tom McDermott for Sacred Heart as they go inside 50 again. So a few entries early, putting St. Peter's under pressure. Picked up well there by Darcy Lecornu, one of their recruits. Quick snap on goal. And it's bobbling around in there. Colorado picks it up and puts it through. Sacred Heart on the board. 1-0. Sacred Heart get the early one, and with a few inside 50s, they probably get a reward for some effort there.
Great start from the Shockers there. Ethan Moore with a kick. Just picked it up inside the 50-metre arc and put it towards a dangerous position. That's all you've got to do sometimes. On the board earlier, we checked the Dartfish replay screen to see who the goal scorer was. Just tapped down in front and running onto it. Carlotto was there, picked up. The big man takes a long time to get down below his knees, but when he does, he's ever so dangerous. And Shock on the board, on the Hahn Sportal scoreboard. 1 goal was, he reached up super high and extended that shoulder out, did tap. Moving down with it, Collier. He's been quick to move and fast to start in this quarter. Spock inside 50 now through Allen. Going all the way down, roving it nicely and snapping towards goal. Play it loose in the square, pick it up. He's got to snap it if he gets free. But the pressure is intense, and well done down there by Dewhurst.
Hopefully St. Peter's can lock this one away, set up the wall, the defensive wall, and keep this one inside their attacking 50.
So well tapped out and running onto it. By nature was tap. Umpire's going to say play on. Just got a handball out of the end. Repeat stoppage inside forward 50, about 15 around from goal on a slight angle. Lovely day, sun's out. Anzac Day around footy, on filming footy, and picked up at the back by Rodos, and quick snap is not going to get it done. Going towards the boundary, a long way away from us. We're down the scoreboard end here at St. Peter's Caterer Oval, but both teams pushing up the ground high in this opening few minutes, and not one player inside the Sacred Heart half at this point. So lots of numbers and congestion inside forward 50. It's taken off hands, hard to get a meaningful possession out of there, but Shock managed to do so. Carlotto won it down, but it's going to come straight back his way. Moving through it was Payne, and the quick kick from Carlotto goes towards his leading forward Hartshorn of the Connor variety. At the back, that was Lecornu putting the pressure on, following up. Nice from Darcy Lecornu, and they're in. 50 and closing on its way. Second goal of the day coming up. Coast to coast footy from Shock, and they're off to a flyer. 2 goals straight on the Sportal and Hahn scoreboard.
Yeah, excellent pressure there. Excellent forward running there by Sacred Heart. They had, like you called there, Jack, they had all the numbers inside their own, inside Spock's forward half, but ran forward well, created the pressure, created the turnover, and it was just good clean hands, and then an equally great shot on goal there by Connor Hartshorn.
So Carlotto and Hartshorn on the board in the opening few moments of this game. Great start as an away team. The trip to Caterer Oval last year was pretty easy, but St. Peter's have reinforced their team this year, so fast start for Shock.
Beautiful. 2 goals the margin, Sacred Heart's way. Rucks go at it once more. Rodos tracks this one down, and I think he's got him high, and he has. Clayton Simons, the captain, putting his body over the line. He plays on, looks to get another entry deep inside 50, goes to a big pack. Well picked up there by Belpiero for St. Peter's as he tries to clear. It's with McGill. That's a nice looking ball, but it's dangerous. Well spoiled by Noble, great tackle by Rankin. And the umpire will have it.
Well done there in that tackle, not to take him to ground too dangerously, just took extra care in the end.
They're hot on that at the moment, aren't they?
Ball up.
Nice safe tackles in a game of footy. Cleared by Rodos from the clearance, intercepted by Sacred Heart. Oh, he's just sat on it for too long, but got his kick away eventually. Mopped up by McGill for St. Peter's. And it comes out of the wing to Lockie de Cesare as he finds a mark, and he gets it back for the 1-2. Handballs it inboard to Rodos, but he's put him under pressure, and the umpire will have it for a ball up. Just left of the centre circle, so just forward of centre. 6 minutes gone on the Sportal and Hahn ultra low carb scoreboard. Sacred Heart 2 goals, St. Peter's yet to register a score, as the umpire will have it for another repeat stoppage.
Spock making sure they man up at this stoppage. Shock just dropping one at the back, but picked up well by McGill. Just saw might have been more leaking out, and Sacred Heart looked to repel across half back, and they do it with a bit of speed and a bit of accuracy, but that one not too accurate. Carlotto strong in the trenches, and he comes up clutch again, and that's a beautiful mark on the lead. Couldn't help but mark it. LeCornu, strong start, great kick. Picked up on the half volley. Carlotto there. Ruck casting the roll of Rover. He ducks, or he was taken high trying to evade the tackle. That's what the umpire saw. Henry McAuliffe, 2 goals last week, will line up pretty much directly in front.
Yeah, just smartly done there by the small forward. Drew the high one. Knew the umpire would give it, and he has a decent look at goal here. Slight angle, not a lot of wind around. About 30 out from goal.
So McAuliffe, 76 goals, 53 games for Shock, and named in the best a handful of occasions. The Plimpton Junior and former Glenelg under 18. Should be pretty regulation from here, you'd think, for a fast start. 7.5 gone. Shock are moving out of sight. 3 straight 18 on the Sportal and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard. Spock have a few warning bells in the coach's box.
Didn't think we were down at Morphettville today. Shock are certainly off to the races. They have started very, very hot. And McAuliffe, he knows where the goals are. He's kicked 2 goals in their first 2 outings in season 2024. So he's picking up where he's left off. And Shock look red hot today.
Fast start, isn't it, by Shock, who have only put 57 and 79 points on the board in their first 2 matches. So low scoring by their lofty standards. But if the first 8 minutes is anything to go by, we're in for a goal fest, at least from one end of the field anyway today. Sacred Heart off to a flyer.
Stuart Rattray and Bradley Noble go at it in the ruck again. It's just fumbling around in there, picked up by the ruckman for St. Peter's, and he clears to the outer side. Tracking it down, 2-on-1 St. Peter's, and they get a third at the contest. And they were able to clear with some clean possession. He has a flying shot on goal. Ooh, just to the far side. And St. Peter's are on the board with a 1 behind. Sacred Heart, 3 goals, 18. St. Peter's just registered their first score, 1 behind. 8.5 minutes gone on the Sportal and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard. Let's see what Shocks can do as they try to repel from defence. He plays on and goes long. Tap flies across, but it goes out the back. I think that's fallen to Carlotto. And they're off straight away by hand. So that's one trend we'll look to keep an eye on for the rest of this game. Sacred Heart, when they can, look to put some speed on the ball. Maybe that's something that they've identified with St. Peter's. As we have another stoppage. Bobbling around in there, the ball. Good pressure there by Shock. I think that's Rankin with another nice cuddle there. And we'll have another ball up. Cleared by Ethan Moore for Sacred Heart, and Darcy LeCornu, smart forward play, playing in front, takes another mark. He's been lively, Darcy LeCornu. Back to Shocks for season 2024 after missing 2023 with knee surgery.
Big mark there, out on the lead, and 2 hands to it. Well done. The coach has started. He's saying, "Fall in behind me. I'm going to lead you to an away day victory today."
Yeah, and he's going to need to. He was their second leading goal kicker last year, so without Kakuro, he will be one of those guys, like their other forwards, that'll need to step up and get some goals on the board for Shock. He looks to be about 35, 40 metres out. Bit of a tight angle, hemmed in on that far side boundary. Not a lot of wind to speak of, so just need to put it nice and straight. And that's just what he's done. Shock are off. 4 goals. They've kicked the opening 4 to St. Peter's, 1 behind. 4 goals, 24 to St. Peter's, 1 behind. So the visitors, they are off and away. Only 10 minutes gone in the first quarter too. So this probably could be some damage control implemented by Spock potentially to limit the damage for the rest of this first quarter. What are you thinking, Jack? What are you seeing?
2 goals last week for the coach, and he's on the board with 2 already in this opening quarter. He's a handful. He pushes himself into the ruck, and then he drifts forward and he floats across half back. He's in that mould of the Glenunga star, Abe Davis, as well. He's Rhodos. He wants to put an end to this Shock dominance in the opening half of this quarter. And there he is, following up. Just gets an agricultural tackle, and the umpire says, holding the ball. from our angle, it looked like he went down pretty firmly in his back, Jack. Not sure about what you thought there.
Yeah, I certainly was signalling the push in the back call, but nonetheless.
So Gluyas gets up, says thank you to the umpire, and takes his kick. Out of side, no one's real advantage, coming in over the top. Needed to put both hands up, didn't. Winning it down at ground level, Vazari, freshened the team. And moving out the back, oh, well done. Just all under pressure straight away from the 100th gamer, Benny McGill, in there laying a great tackle, the Unley Junior. Looking to put a bit of dominance in that stoppage brigade for Spock, because so far it's been all Sacred Heart. So the experienced man just blocking out Kyle Otto, did well. Got the tap down, and at the back, moving it through hands, Stuart Rattray was the clearance kick, and underneath it, Lockie Hartshorn couldn't quite get to it. Ball at ground level, picked up and snapped inside 50. Nicely done. It was the Cesare at ground level, and here's the captain.
Ed Allen goes wide into the pocket, and it's well marked. They're appealing for a 25. There's a bit of noise coming from the hill down there. The end to where St. Peter's are kicking towards.
Always well attended down that end, the St. Peter's old boys and everyone associated with the club get out in numbers. Usually a bit of a lower attendance this afternoon, but gee, with 12 and a half gone for their opening goal of the day, much needed.
And it's Nick Michaels, he comes in, looks like it's put to the near side, and it has. St. Peter's will want to lock this one in as they move to 0 goals, 2 behinds to Sacred Heart. 4 goals straight, 24. Yeah,
he would have backed in Michaels from there. Tough angle, but he's got 88 goals in 48 games, so good for just under 2 goals a game. But the angle got the better of him. Shock straight down the guts here, moving it towards goals. They want to put their foot on the accelerator and take on this game and put up a handy lead at quarter time. Just taken off it dangerously, umpire said. Perhaps around the shoulder as well. Standing the mark was Henry. Didn't necessarily agree with the umpire's call, but got to get on with it, and they've leaked at the back here, Shock. 1-on-1, oh, it's that man again. He's everywhere out there. Bit too far out, looking for an option. 2-on-1, Spock should do well. But Lecornu with the strong hands, vice-like grip, 20 out, directly on a slight angle, I should say. Lining up for Shock's 5th. Haven't even played halfway in this opening quarter. Gee, Spock had 2-on-1, but Lecornu and Shock had the height.
Yeah, certainly did. It was a well-weighted kick there by Colorado. That's just forward experience, just knowing where the ball needs to be put for his teammate, and Dusty Lecornu's marked well. So
back from knee surgery, Lecornu making up for lost time. Good enough to play some footy at Glenelg in the 18s, reserves and seniors. Makes the umpire do a bit of a dance. First blemish for Shock on the Hahn Sportal scoreboard. 4-1-25. Spock 2 behinds. Just approaching 15 gone. Spock need a response, and quickly. Clearing it nicely. Here's Benny McGill. One of their best last year. In the helmet, you can't miss him. He got it from his brother out of full back. And all of a sudden they're on the wing, but it's coming right back over McGill's head. Rodos puts himself in the hole. Selfless footy. Picked up, one down, but the umpire will deem perhaps he dragged it in, but both teams had their hands on the ball. So ball up, commentary side, 15 played. Div 1, round 3 footy, Shock and Spock here at Caterer Oval on this Saturday afternoon.
Lockwood wins the tap down. Charlie Allen clears to his brother Ed, and that's a strong mark. That's a strong contested mark. He's got it on centre wing. He's just pointing around. I think he's lost his mouth guard in the process as well. He goes down along the line. St. Peter's look to have ground presence there. Sacred Heart spoil well. It's with tap. He handballs, and they look to switch it to the outer side. It's a bit of a tumbler punt, but it's going to not be intercepted so far. Tracking that down is Jackson Fox. St. Peter's now in possession. Oh no, it's gone back to Sacred Heart, and this is all St. Peter's here, but it's gone out on the full.
So where's this goal coming from for St. Peter's? They've had a couple of chances, but nothing really clear-cut. Need it soon. Henry. He'll go back for the out-of-bounds. Umpire just wasn't happy with the way the mark was set up. So chance to go inside 50 here for St. Peter's, and that's a strong mark. Nicely taken. Collie wheels around looking for something. He finds him. Had the Dukes up Up above, 40 out, directly in front. Marcus Roberts for Spock's first. Desperately required. Roberts, the Broadbeach product. And Paynham Jr. played some footy for Norwood under 18s and reserves. 19th game for Spock this afternoon. 16.5 gone. Important kick, Roberts.
Looks good.
He converts, has the distance, just got there. That's all that counts. Spock on the board with their opening goal on that Hahn ultra low carb Sportal scoreboard. 1-2-8. Still in the rear view mirror of shock. They lead by 17 points, 4-1-25.
The defender just venturing down forward there. Spock with the inbound from out on the floor were able to squeeze and press the ground very tightly, and the defender got on the end of one, so he'll be very pleased. 17 minutes gone, 25 plays 8. Sacred Heart still firmly in control, but let's see if St. Peter's can get on just a little bit of a roll, get 1 or 2 before the break. Bradley Noble and Jordan Lockwood clash horns in the ruck contest, and the ball doesn't venture too far. The umpire will have it for another stoppage.
And for all the dominance, one goal here from Spock, and all of a sudden it's back to under a couple of goals, or just over that. It'll be 11 points if they manage to get the next. So for all Sacred Hearts, good work. St. Peter's still in this.
Certainly. Another stoppage, so the ball hasn't ventured too far from that last goal. Hamish Allen goes to Ed Colley, and they go for a 1-2-3-4, and it goes straight down the guts from Colley to the skipper in Allen, Edward Allen, and he moves it fast by foot, just missed his teammate, Johnny Reid. Oh, Johnny Reid, he's been on fire so far in 2024. 4 goals in both games, but he wasn't able to get on the board there.
Yeah, you've got to hit that kick, don't you? If you're the captain, if you're at Div 1 level, that kick's got to stick.
Looks like it's tapped there with the inbound, goes straight down the line. And Sacred Heart numbers at the ground, and they are off and away once again. Open 50. It's a 1-on-1. This is what we love to see. Kyle Otto and Max Henry. Henry's done well.
Well done, Henry.
And they clear. Let's see if they can get a mark. That's well judged by Ed Colley. He started well, Ed Colley, into the side for round 3. Unfortunately, just missed that kick, and that was well intercepted there by Dewhurst. He's got Jackson Fox down the line, and he honours the lead. Unfortunately, can't mark, but the umpire's found a free, so Jackson Fox will have a mark.
Yeah, Roberts just putting the hands up, and the victim of the dropped mark, and the hands just went over the top, so gave away the free.
80 out. He's been called to play on. He's found a tight one in the pocket, and that's well spoiled out of bounds right in front of us. About 70 out from Shock's goal. Well spoiled there by Charlie Allen, just coming across and knocking that one out of bounds.
Taking them a while, Spock. It looked to have reorganised themselves. We saw Lockwood push right back to full back in case that kick went long, and now he's back in the ruck here.
And they go again. That's trapped by Ethan Moore for Sacred Heart. He goes inside 50. Kyle Otto. Oh, grabbed him round the shoulder. Has he? No.
Umpire on the other side of that. We had a perfect view. It did look like they were wrestling, had a bit of each other, but at the last second it did look like Kyle Otto's arm just went up a little bit higher. Umpires paid the mark, and Maxie Henry, safe to say, he's not impressed.
That's local footy. Unfortunately, you're on the end of one that you think should go your way, and then later on in the game you'll get one back. So Kyle Otto lines up for his third here, strolls in, comes to 45. Looks like he's got under that one.
Footy gods.
He's pushed that. Yeah, the footy
here
god.
today. No score.
So he's pushed that one out on the full, has Alex Kyle Otto. 20 minutes gone as we move into red time on the Sportal and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard. Red time goals for and against are so crucial to mount comebacks and forge good leads. So let's see what Spock can do.
Yeah, I've been covering the Rams a couple of weeks ago, round 1 and 2, and they kicked probably 3 or 4 red time goals in the second and third quarter, and it just dulls the momentum of the opposing team who are trying to defend the run. And you see the fittest teams are often the ones there in the finals, and the longer you can push in quarters and add damage on that scoreboard, the better you're going to be come finals time.
Umpire says both holding as Lockwood clears in the ruck contest. Goes down the line, and that'll just trickle out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Pretty much bang on centre wing right in front of both coaches' boxes. The Sacred Heart look to have plenty of speed on the ball when they do get it out in transition, squeezing the ground up nice and high and backing their leg speed on the way back to goal. They've caught Spock out a couple of times with that situation, as it's well defended there by Ben Belpiero. He started well in this first quarter. Unfortunately, he's been pinged for holding the ball. Dived on it, took too long.
Well umpired.
Just giving a shout out to your fellow umpire.
Yeah, you've got to give them the
mate.
credit when they get decisions right. And the player dives on the ball. We saw a couple of weeks ago they got it wrong at AFL level with Sammy Draper.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Not a bit of Crows fan here at all. But
no bias here.
when the player dives on it, it's up to them to get it out. And if they don't, it should be pinged every time. And that was well called by the umpire on that occasion, umpire Cameron McLeod. Been backed up by Matty Harris and Merritt Carl's in the field this afternoon.
Since Lockwood's moved into the ruck, it looks like he's just trying to get some ascendancy there for Spock. He's done well, coming up against Bradley Noble. Bradley Noble was one of Sacred Heart's better players throughout 2023. Actually came runner-up in their best and fairest. So he's a key cog in their side, the big ruckman for Sacred Heart. As St. Peter's moved this ball well through Ed Colley.
Yeah. McDermott down off the ball. We'll just keep an eye on that.
Sean Tapp, what a defender he is. He was stiff to not be in the team of the year, but he is firming to be one of those at centre half back. Ed Allen moves through the centre of the ground. Unfortunately, that's intercepted. So Sacred Heart setting up really well behind the ball, and they transition this one fast. It's with LeCornu on centre wing. It's been called to play on, and that's with McDermott. He goes to the coach in Kyle Otto.
Yeah, gets down there. Lovely mark.
The big man got down low
Needed
really
to
well.
take that, because if he didn't, Wilson would have picked it up and they were off spot.
LeCornu about 60 out, just with honours a short lead. Who can he find? He goes in the Hartshawn direction. 2-on-1, 3-on-1. McGill comes across with a big spoil, and that's done well, and that's out of bounds. About 20 out from Sacred Heart goal.
Ground level, round 3 footy here on Filming Footy. Thanks to Archie's Dartfish programs to fit classic clashes. The difference in size is really noticeable. Ground level, Spock have the smaller bodies, the faster, quicker movers, and Shock have a lot of big, tall men. Handball intercepted, going the way of McAuliffe. 2 goals last week, and on the scoreboard already in this opening term, and appeals for holding the ball. Umpire's just going to throw it up. We're about 2 metres inside a forward 50 for Shock. 24 gone. A goal here would be a bit of a dagger for Spock. They've responded nicely. McGill hands out and clearing kick on the outer side. So picks it up around the body. It's a 2-on-1 at the back. If Shock get it, they do. Numbers. Handball through to Brinkworth. On the boot. Find something you like. Was it Noble or Tap going up? Outer side. Stay down there. We'll come back to that if there's anything else there. Spock go forward now, and a real chance to add their second goal of the day. They desperately need it. Boundary line's going to beat Lockwood to it though. So 24 and a half, almost 25 gone opening term. Sport to enhance scoreboard. Shock have a 17-point lead. They'd probably like to have another couple of goals. They've been down that end of the ground. Colorado putting one out of bounds in the fall from a pretty gettable angle. Spock would count themselves lucky to be this close. They stayed in the sheds for the first half of this quarter. Strong tackle on the outer side.
About 80 out from St. Peter's goal. The umpire will have it for a ball up. Plenty of numbers around this stoppage here. And it will be balled up again. Hartshawn just quite couldn't collect that one on the first grab and be away for his side as it bobbled around.
Wouldn't be much time left. 25 and a half. Only 5 goals this quarter. Right end of the ground for Spock to add one here, but we've seen Shock do their counter-attacking footy has been really good, but it's all one-on-one behind this contest.
Yep, all one-on-ones. Ed Allen tracks this one, or is it Vrodos? That's bobbled around from a couple of tackles, and it's finally cleared by Hamish Allen with clean possession. Unfortunately missed the target. And last touch out of bounds. Shock will bring this one back in as they go to the goal square. Do they initiate a switch? Just assesses his options. Spock did well to defend that switch. the fast switch, so they just go with slow to a contest. McDermott, or is that Benuto? I think it's Benuto. Fox is tracking that one, and so is Carlotto. And it's gone out of play for a boundary throw in. It's made its way over to the coach's box side. Pretty much bang on centre wing. 26.5 gone now in this first quarter, so certainly couldn't be too much longer to go in this first quarter. Both teams will be wanting a reprieve, as that's well tapped down by Bradley Noble and well cleared by the midfielder getting on the end of that one. But St. Peter's can repel again, and it's with Colley again. He's had a stack of it this quarter, Ed Colley. He's been very good. Into the side for round 3, and there goes the siren. That ends the first quarter. Sacred Heart well in control. They got off to a flyer, but St. Peter's just held them back slightly. The scores are St. Peter's 1 goal, 2 behinds, 8, trailing Sacred Heart by 17 points, 4 goal, 1, 25 on the Sportle and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard. That is the end of the first quarter. We'll be back after this short break.
We'll just pay homage to our sponsors first up before we go to our break. So we got Dartfish, Farmers Leap, Roll the Dice Racing, Best on Ground, Archie Stongs. Our scoreboard sponsors, of course, Sportle and Hahn, as you mentioned, Jack. Filming Footy for our footy stats. Coach of the Week, Farmers Leap Winery. Media Award, Play of the Year, Roll the Dice Racing. Goal of the Week from Born to Build, Wakefield Sports Clinic. Mark of the Week, Bianco. And our Snag of the Day, Goal of the Day, thanks to Jag Meatworks. As you said, back after this with the second quarter at quarter time here at Caterer Oval. It's Shock up by 17 points. Welcome back to Cater Oval for this round 3 Adelaide Footy League matchup on Filming Footy at quarter time. It's Shock 4-1-25, Spock 1-2-8. The away team up by 17 points. Of course, we're here thanks to our sponsors. They are Div 1 Adelaide Footy League Facebook page, Sporto and Hahn, our scoreboard sponsors, Filming Footy, Dartfish, Farmers Leap, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie Stongs, Farmers Leap Winery, Padthaway, Born to Build, Wakefield Sports Clinic, Bianco and Jag Meatworks. And our match day sponsor is, of course, Classic Clashes. Big first quarter for Shock, Jack.
Certainly, yep. They got off to a flyer, kicking the first 4. Spock were able to just halt that momentum, kicking one of their own. But they find themselves down at home by 17 points. So let's see if Coach Michael O'Leary has given them some words of wisdom and some magic to spur them on to get back into this contest. They're certainly not out of it, but yeah, they haven't got off to the best start.
So Colorado with 2, Hartshorn, McAuliffe, single goal kickers for Shock, and dropped mark inside 50. They're away here. McAuliffe needed to pick it up, instead got the body of the opponent and took him down. And Marcus Roberts was the goal kicker for St. Peter's in that opening term. So, bit to work on. Shock, strong start. Didn't add a goal after the halfway point of that first quarter, so St. Peter's will be happy with that. Clearing handball, just comes to the back and just drifting off the back of that contest with Stuart Rattray. Runs onto it, nice handball, but don't argue, got a handball now, did. Under pressure, it was good to get it out of congestion, and someone at the back in the blue boots. Moving it towards the wing, hands up for it, eyes up at least. Doing well was Dewhurst. A couple of efforts like that today so far. Oh, he handballed to himself, got it back. Noble, and the kick was nothing to write home about. Going towards even numbers. The big ruckman Lockwood perhaps put 2 hands up and take the mark next time. Here's Brinkworth, and he finds a loose man in pain. Towards the coach. Oh, that's vice-like grip. Kyle Otto, he started like a house on fire. Quick handball. Nice option. That one's going to drift out of bounds for a last possession. Free kick going the way of St. Peter's. So both teams a bit scratchy to come out of the quarter time break.
Wilson to inbound here for St. Peter's. He's probably about 60 out from his own goal. Sacred Heart just trying to keep this one inside their forward half of the ground. As Stuart Rattray flies, comes to ground. Sacred Heart look to mop this up. And it's just bobbled out of bounds. Marcus Roberts couldn't quite take that one cleanly on the half volley. And it'll be thrown in. Just forward of centre wing here for Sacred Heart on the outer side. Stuart Rattray and Bradley Noble going to go at it in this ruck contest. Similar story to the first quarter. Roberts looks to track this down and he just says, I'm not having any of this, and slaps it out of bounds for another boundary throw in. Lockwood nearly had the chance to take a nice grab and get it inside for St. Peter's a few moments ago, but
he put one hand up, didn't he? Just needed to put both up, and it would have been a kick inside 50 from about 60 out. Spock need to repel as they come out of their back half the ground, and just jumping off the ground but taking it nicely was Benny Dewhurst, and over he goes. So a couple of pairs of brothers out there today, and Hartshorn, Lockie and Connor, and Luke and Ben in the 3 and 42 for Shock, and on the other side of the coin, the McGill brothers as well for St. Peter's. So strong start in this second quarter, I should say. Shock going inside 50 now, and at the back, leading his man to it. Oh, he put him on a turntable and he snaps towards goal. Elite start to the second term. Shock have their 5th. And that was very nicely done inside 50. Just came to the ground, picked it up with absolute ease and converted truly. So LeCornu's got himself on the scoreboard finally. Had a couple of chances.
Started well in the first quarter,
didn't he?
Yep.
A kick from about 25 out, tough angle. But he did beautifully well there. He came out, let his man up, went one way, went the other, a bit of a dipsy doodle, and he put the Jets on to snap truly. So Sacred Heart 5-1-31, a 23-point lead on the Sporto and Hahn scoreboard. St. Peter's 1-2-8.
Let's see what the response is from St. Peter's here early in this second quarter. Noble looks to just run away with that one from the ruck, and he's been called for a throw. So that's well defended in the middle of the ground there for St. Peter's. He finds a runner on the outer side and he honours it. It's Nick McGill, and that's a good mark in the contest. And he just chips one over to a leading Johnny Reid, the famous Johnny Reid down at St. Peter's. Couldn't quite get on the end of that one. And Sacred Heart have it with Brinkworth, and they move it fast straight away. So that pattern, that trend has continued on from the first quarter. Sacred Heart, whenever they can, look to go fast. But it was turned over, and it's turned over again. Bradley Noble taking a nice intercept mark. The big ruckman getting down and doing his defensive duties. It's with Tom McDermott, about 50 out from his own goal on the outer side. Just puts a nice little pitching wedge into Henry McAuliffe, one of the goal scorers in that opening quarter, working his way up the ground. He sees his coach all on his own, and he's just put it over his head. Unlucky there. And that's well tackled by Nick McGill, I think it was, on that outer side, tackling the Sacred Heart man over the boundary. Speaking of pitching wedge, you going down to Live Golf,
Oh,
mate?
Live Golf. Not much of a golf nut personally, but yeah, watched a bit of it yesterday. Great event for the city, and we're getting lots of those different sporting events. Gather Round, of course, Live Golf, and it's the city to be, isn't it, recently? And Adelaide Footy League action on a Saturday arvo. Sandful football as well in Adelaide Oval. It's a big time of year for it, and great weather for it as well.
It's turned it on, hasn't it?
And the crowds at Live Golf yesterday, as we saw, were elite. I take it you're perhaps heading down yourself, or at least catching some action?
I'll be venturing down tomorrow. Can't wait.
No, it's a wonderful achievement, and credit to the Premier as well. And whichever way you swing in your political stance, done some fantastic stuff to bring big events to Adelaide. And
Got my vote.
You're watching it on the Filming Footy stream, the Adelaide Footy League. It's up there with some of the highest quality local amateur footy in the country, this division, as Simon's kick is turned over. And the match just going by at a little bit of a dull pace in the opening term, played between the arcs. St. Peter's bees to a honeypot on a couple of occasions, just leaving a few shock numbers. This time it's 101, but they come at the footy in a strong punch from behind, otherwise there's going to be an uncontested mark for Sanderson. So his direct opponent got there in time to punch it over, so boundary umpire will earn his money and throw it in about 35-40 around from the St. Peter's goal. Only goal of the quarter going the way of shock so far. We've played 7 minutes on the Sport to Enhance scoreboard. It comes out. McGill chasing after it like a buzzfly down there. He's very nimble. Kick out of defence coming from Ben Dewhurst. Over the bat, Carlotto, he's always there when you need him, puts himself in the right spots time and time again. Handball back to him from McAuliffe. Just spinning towards goal, they're going backwards. The kick finally finds a nice target, and it's Lecornu again. Good start to this second quarter. Oh, out of his distance range, so he plays on. A bit of a lateral kick, he finds Brinkworth. And Brinkworth, nice little measured kick over the top. Oh. Umpire's probably going to, I thought maybe award 25, but he was in the contest. And mark taken by Bowen Payne. First season for Shock in a Brighton and Foss Junior. He plays on from about 40 and improves the angle. It's not going to come back enough. Going to go towards the teeth of goal though, and dangerous down there. Spock have got to be on the lookout, and it's just shoveled across the line for a rushed behind. So Sport Ulhan scoreboard. Shock move along to 5-2-32, and Spock 1-2-8, a margin of 24 points. And St. Peter's find themselves in a bit of a goal rut. Past couple of weeks, they've kicked 79 and 76 points. They can't let Shock get out of sight too much, and they need to find a couple of goals for their own good as well. Oh. It's not going to be one that's going to please the coach, Michael O'Leary, and it's out of bounds on the outer side. So boundary throw in, about 40 around from the Shock goal.
Yep, 21 and 29 scoring shots in their first two games, St. Peter's. They haven't looked like getting near that number this afternoon. Sacred Heart's defence continuing on from where it was last year, second best defence in the competition, proving to be tough to get any sort of chance, any look at it for St. Peter's. As it's in Sacred Heart's forward pocket, and that's well tackled. I think it was McAuliffe down there just doing his defensive duties as a small forward. That'll certainly please Alex Colorado, the coach out there. Nick McGill looks to track that down, back of the stoppage. It's come forward. St. Peter's look to have clean possession here. I think that's Ed Allen. Clears a kick out of their forward 50, and that's well marked. Coming flying over the back there by Ben Dewhurst. At the moment there, Jack, I think that's a contender for Bianco Mark of the Week from what we've seen today.
Indeed it is. Haven't seen many high flyers, but on the lookout, of course, for our snag of the day as well, thanks to Jag Meatworks. And been a couple of good goals, but nothing out of the park, but that's definitely up there for the Bianco. So Dewhurst's first season for Shock. Made his debut last week. Can he kick truly?
Looks like he's very far out. Must be on the edge of the 50, somewhere around there. He strikes it well, but I don't think it's going to get the journey. Oh, and that is a huge hanger!
Bianco!
That is a massive hanger.
I think he's come down pretty hard and hurt himself, but hopefully he doesn't mind if he wins the Bianco Mark of the Week. I'll drop that one down and pass it on to Tommy Javor for the Between the Post show during the week. That is going to be hard to beat.
Can't quite see who was on the end of that one, but
take a look at the Dartfish replay and get you who this is.
He had the seat, well and truly. He took that just higher than the goalpost padding, so he was up well high. Can he convert his work? And he can. Just took 2 steps around for the snap and put it straight over the goal umpire's head. Shock move to 6-2, 38. They're taking a 30-point margin. St. Peter's yet to trouble the scorers in this second quarter.
There's the captain down there, I think you'll find, as we take a look on the Dartfish replay. He's picked himself up. He's moved away to the base, of the boundary line. So he got up super high, didn't touch the sky.
Unreal.
And then testified with the finish.
He's done it on the ground. He had a nice little crumbing goal in the goal square in the first quarter, taking hangers, coaching the side. Gee, what can't this man do, Alex Carlotto? That's his third, I believe, is it?
Carlotto had a couple in the first quarter. Yep. Simon's there, but Carlotto was definitely in the vicinity looking to take his own Bianco Mark of the Week. But Clayton Simon's mark and goal.
Oh, it was Simon's.
You can you can take the Mark of the Week, but you've got to finish, don't you? You've got to kick that goal. We saw Elliot on Anzac Day take the mark, but more importantly went back and finished, and that's a big goal. So the margin's now 30 points, 6-2 to 1-2, a 30-point gap on the Sporto Enhanced scoreboard. Spock need to answer the next goal, otherwise this one's getting out of hand pretty quickly. Good tackle on the outer side, locking it in there forward 50 Higgins.
Oh, holding the ball.
And that'll do very nicely. So holding the ball going the way of Jimmy Higgins. Probably a little bit far out. Man on the mark, 51. Out from goal, spots up a leading target. And the captain Allen thought he marked it. Umpire said play on. Spock have their hands out. Not sure what you saw there, Jack, but he took 9/10 of that.
Yeah, he certainly did. Must have just clipped a fingernail on the way through. And he's unfortunately not been called the mark.
The Spock at the right end of the ground finally. Lovely, careful tackle from Charlie Allen. All the experience. That's Sturt and West in the sandful, bringing that play to ground. So lovely tackle from Allen. Umpire throws it up, and away we go again. This game's been played at a pretty high intensity in the past few minutes. Here's one of the McGill brothers, that's Nick. Other one's Ben with the headgear. You can see him a mile away, and uncontested in the end from the fullback, Zachary Sanderson for Shock. He moves it to Brandon Smith on the lateral, and he turns it over, but the mark can't be taken, and now he's dived on it. He's in trouble. He put himself in trouble there, dropped the uncontested chest mark, and then fell over the ball. Only got himself to blame, and Carlotto about double the height of little McGill there with the helmet. Everyone's got their own strengths, and Carlotto is playing a bit of a Maxi Gorn type effort this afternoon, just roaming around the ground, picking up the marks, putting himself exactly where they need him. He says to his opponent, shakes hands at the first bounce, and says, I'll see you at the end. And he's on a short kick here. If McAuliffe wants to honour him, he doesn't. Instead goes longer than that. To about 40 up they go, but no mark taken. Waiting down, lovely from Rankin. Tried to bust through. It's all Shock. They'd be doubling the possession count so far in this game, Spock have found it hard to hold on to the ball. When they have, they've got it forward pretty easily, but they've kicked it away more times than not. It comes to the back. Oh, snap on goal from Moore. Just fading.
Faded late, didn't it? That looked good.
That would have been
for most of the journey.
A margin after 6 goals. As it is, 31 points on the Sporter and Hans scoreboard. St. Peter's have got no answers.
No, certainly right. They are again struggling in this second quarter to generate any sort of entry, and keeping it in there. Sacred Heart able to transition very well, but they've done well from the kick in here. They've found a net spare man in Charlie Allen. He pops it over the top. Unfortunately, can't find the chest, and it's just bobbling around there at ground level. Going after it there was Bowen Payne for Sacred Heart, but the boundary line beat him to it, and it'll be thrown up just forward of centre for Sacred Heart on the outer wing. Jordan Lockwood and Bradley Noble contesting this one. Bradley Noble wins the tap. Well gathered there by Ed Allen. He throws it on the boot without really looking, and it's been turned over. Well done there by Lachlan Hartshaw, just getting in the hole and taking an intercept mark. Tom McDermott goes forward, and the umpire's found a little free. Yeah, there's a whistle. Yeah, I think he's called a push potentially.
Yeah, we'll take a look in the Dartfish replay and get back to you.
I think that's Louis Benuto. So Louis Benuto kicked 3 goals last week in his debut for Sacred Heart in the ones. He goes to the pocket to the coach. No, I think that's McAuliffe. Yeah, McAuliffe. He's been good.
Everywhere, aren't they? They're just popping up in the right spots and leading their opponents off on the leads, and St. Peter's have got nothing. So taking a look back on that Dartfish replay, yeah, it was a marking attempt from the little goal sneak Benuto, and had his arms chopped, so umpiring good spot.
Henry McAuliffe comes in about just more than a 45-degree angle, 35-40 out, looks good off the boot, and he likes it.
It's his second.
Big come on from Henry McAuliffe, and he's continuing the trend. That's his second goal. That's 3 games in a row, 2 goals for Henry McAuliffe, so he certainly knows where the goals are. And Sacred Heart, gee, that's another 3, first 3 of the quarter.
Yeah, it's a demolition job at the moment, isn't it?
It's certainly looking worrying at the moment for St. Peter's.
One of a handful.
Can't get there. Can't get their hands on the footy, can they? And 100%. When they do, just with a drop mark right here in front of us or a missed kick there.
And the idea is right when they do get it inside 50, but because they're not going in with any real plan, Sacred Heart are playing it the front of their opponent, and they're easily clearing out, and they've just got more willingness to run off contests too, and keeping that loose man at the back of stoppage, causing problems in the tackling effort. Gee, Cammy Rankin just
he's a ball in there,
enabling the team to just cheat a bit with the tackling effort. His teammates around stoppage can just put the extra step on their opponent, just knowing that they're going to be supported by that tackling effort. And there again on full display. Beautifully done by Connor Hartshorn, who will take the free.
In true ruck fashion, he looks to give it off by hand.
Yeah, but he can use it. He can use it nicely, and he's been supported, doesn't he?
Yep.
All day from the wingers and those half-back flankers just running up for those short mark kick options. Here's one more inside 50. Who's down there? Oh, that punch is going towards the back. Simon's playing more full forward after that early mark and hanger and kick and goal in this second quarter. Just keep an eye on him at half time. See how he pulls up. It's coming towards us. Spock at half forward. Collecting himself. Was he tackled or was the ball knocked out of his hands? Umpire said it was the latter. Oh, unlucky. Inside 50 and winning it first. McGill can't stop him, but he swings him across the boundary finally. And boundary umpire comes in to earn his money as umpire Matt Harris sprints across the deck like a gazelle. He can't hear me. He's well focused on his job.
Let's see what Spock can do with this boundary throw in. It's 50 out.
Around the pack. Both holding each other there. McGill leaves it. And Dewhurst comes in. Simons gets around his player Lee from the front. He's pushed himself up around the stoppage now. McGill just let his teammate run onto it, but perhaps better place to pick it up himself next time. So 18.5 gone. Shock up to a 37-point lead.
Another boundary throw in here. Tracked down by Rodos, but he just can't quite grab. Rankin tries to clear. Simons picks up and tackled. He just throws it out there. Cam Rankin grabs it and tackled. Great tackle there by John Rodos.
Yeah, note on Rankin, he's one of many who's played over 100 games in the Adelaide Footy League, but only one of two players who have played more than 100 games for Shock, him and Connor Hartshorn. So
there you go, plenty of experience.
One of the two.
Here we go. Here's a quick pick up and snap by Stuart Rattray, but it's just across the face and it's gone through for a minor.
All the way to the line. So back on Rankin, Happy Valley Junior, and played some footy for Hackham as well, but over 8 seasons now with Shock. So they have that mix of those players who have come out of school level footy, and they've got a couple of old heads just to keep them in check as well. So a great mix of this Sacred Heart team.
Ben Dewhurst with a nice left peg there, out from full back to a contest. Well done there by both sides.
Made up too of a lot of Plimpton juniors and Brighton juniors, this Shock team. So a lot of players who have played lots of footy with each other.
Ed Allen, nice clearance there, handballs to his teammate, and the umpire's found a free. So here's an opportunity for St. Peter's to get themselves back into the game.
We'll take a look at that on the Dartfish replay. So the free kick was for
Charlie Allen.
To his back, I think.
Charlie Allen will have the ball about 35 out, slight angle. This just has to go through, you'd think, Jack, if St. Peter's are to form a substantial comeback. Currently down by 6 goals.
Simply must.
Here we go, the ball's on its way. And there's some sellies. Beautiful. So, St. Peter's get their first of the second quarter. And they move to 2 goals 3, 15 to 7 goals 3, and even 5 goal margin. Sacred Heart are leading this contest. Just ticked into red time, 20 minutes gone on the Sportal and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard.
So 3 goals to 1 in this quarter on the Dartfish replay. Well umpired, just 2 actions there. The first action was to push the opponent underneath from the marking position. Then he went back for the footy, so umpire was perfectly positioned, paid the free kick, justified as it was. And, an understatement to say that was a much-needed goal for St. Peter's. But can they string a couple or 3 together in a row? It's only a 30-point gap. It seems like a lot, but a couple of clearances. It's a small, kind of short ground, and the wings aren't too deep. Handball's coming out of half-back. They don't panic. String of handballs. Lockie Hartshorn found Brinkworth, who just goes down the line, and he makes the kick look delicious. Getting his hands up was Jackson Fox. Not sure what the Fox says, but the Fox does. Kick it inside. Latchell just behind centre, and mark taken by Lukey Dewhurst. Not quite sure what he saw, but the height of Shock coming to the fore once again. Gee, LaCornu had about 3 Spock players around him. None of them went to tackle him. Can you believe it? Out to meet it again, Rankin. You can't miss him with that shaved head and those bright boots. He is a leader of this midfield.
Bit of Chris Judd about the way he looks. The bold head and the shoulder tape. And he tucks the footy a bit like him too. Very fast and nippy around the contest.
We prefer the shaved adjective rather than the bold adjective. That's okay. I'm sure he will agree with that. It's a choice. As it moves to the teeth of gold. Oh, he tried to rush it through, but it came off the backside. Well, I think it might have been LaCornu in the right place at the right time.
That was a bit of soccer goalkeeper action there by LaCornu to keep that one in and keep it alive. Boundary throw in, about 20 out from goal for Sacred Heart in the closing stages of this first half.
Matty Ryan style. It falls into the lap of the Spock player down there in Lockwood. Runners out for Shock, just getting them to get a few rotations through and get a few key players back on the ground. Rest and rotation perhaps just to lock it up. Rankin's been tough. That must be at least his 4th or 5th tackle, I reckon, Jack. He's been, he's left in the front in that midfield, but it's not the amount of possessions you get. Sometimes it's the tackling intensity and that defensive pressure that really leads from the front. Snap off contest. It's not going to go anywhere near the teeth of goal. Out of bounds. Spock free kick on the full. They lead by 5 even goals. 23 gone on the Sportal and Hahn scoreboard. This is Division 1 footy, the Adelaide Footy League on Filming Footy YouTube. We're here, of course, thanks to our sponsors Dartfish, Farmers Leap, Filming Footy, Roll the Dice Racing, and Archie's.
Here we go with Nick McGill right against his own goal, out of bounds. With the inbound, he just goes long down the line. Big 50-metre bomb in the Lockwood direction. It's fallen to Rattray. Here we go. They got numbers at contest. Can they move it quickly and clean? Not quite so far. That's well done there by the forward to just put some pressure on. And again with the follow-up, 2 tackles. Sacred Heart are clean enough to be able to clear though with McDermott. He honours Moore. And Moore goes down the line. Can he find a mark? Not quite. That's Nick Wilsden there with the clear and kick to Lockwood.
It's 2 now, Lockwood's dropped.
That's gone straight through the breadbasket for the big fella.
Got to hold those.
Lacornu should mark out the back, and he has, and he plays on straight away. He goes in the McAuliffe direction.
What a waste.
But that's ill-directed. And that's well done there by Lillicrap.
Yeah, you called it well.
Unfortunately, was just wide, and the St. Peter's player just got a touch on it. Oh, no, he's called it.
Last possession. Off they go.
Simons runs away with it, and he's found McAuliffe. So this for his third. If he opts to shoot, he's hemmed in on the boundary in front of the members there for St. Peter's.
Reward for effort if he gets this, because he should have been honoured a couple of moments ago in the middle of the ground. You called it beautifully, and the turnover was affected, and a bit of footy karma in a much tougher spot. It's a tough pocket here at Caterer to snag a goal from, though.
I'm sure he has plenty of practice shots down at training on a Thursday night from this exact spot. Let's see what he can do. It's across the face and through for a minor. So McAuliffe just puts that one through for a behind. And it's now 31 points the margin in the closing stages of this second quarter on the Sportle and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard.
Oh, kick had to work. It did. Marked by Charlie Allen. That kick also comes off in the end. They're going to get away with it if Rodos in trouble. There's Rankin again. A man possessed today. He's taking victims left, right and centre. And inspired by his midfield leader, Brinkworth joins the party. This is an inspired performance from Sacred Heart. They've been a little bit shaky so far in season 2024. Tight match-up to beat one of the premiership favourites in Payneham last season, and they've brought the intensity. Hartshorn finds Bowen Payne. A few good touches from Bowen this afternoon. New to the team in 2024. Kick inside 50. It might have been Hartshorn again. McAuliffe waiting at the back. He wants himself a third. He's already got 2. Not to be there. But ticking down towards half-time. 26 gone. Umpire's whistle sounds. And a blood rule. So a chance to thank our matchday sponsor, Classic Clashes. A massive Sportle screen on the media truck. Live and operating. Google Classic Clashes now for all the opportunities you need to create a unique way to bring brand awareness to your valued customers, potential customers, sponsors and supporters. Classic Clashes, celebrating grassroots greatness.
No surprises, Cam Rankin was the one coming off with the blood roll. He's had his head
like a bull.
Yep, like a pig in a pig pen. He's had his head down low and he's unfortunately copped the high one.
Umpire off the ball has found a free kick, and it will go the way of Sacred Heart as the umpires confer. It'll be a late shot on goal. So just what they couldn't afford to do. Give away a free kick. He'll kick from directly in front, Ethan Moore and Mitchum Jr. And played some footy in Yankalilla and with West Adelaide through the junior rank, 16, 18s and reserves. 31-point gap, and to be fair, if he kicks this, to be out by 37 will be just what they deserve from this first half showing. It's been the Sacred Heart show. Ethan lines up and makes the umpire just move a little bit to his left. These misses, well, could they come back to haunt in the second quarter? 27.5 gone. Sportle and Hahn scoreboard. 7-5-47 shock. 2-3-15 Spock, a lead of 32 points. Jack, take us to half-time.
It's with Nick McGill from the kick in. He's been one of their better players so far in this first half, providing plenty of polish off half-back. Is the vice-captain. He'll get it back from Charlie Allen. Just maybe trying to take the sting out of this one in the closing stages of this first half. He looks inboard to Belpiero direction, but it's misdirected, but well picked up there by the skipper. And he turns and turns, and unfortunately just puts a scribbler into Sacred Heart. Deep inside 50, Kyle Otto couldn't take the mark. That's well cleared by Wilsden. Just trying to relieve some pressure, but it looks to be coming back in a flash. Noble kick smothered. Well tackled there by Ethan Moore. And that is half time. Sacred Heart have all the ascendancy in this one. A 3-goal to 1 quarter, giving them a 32-point lead as we go into half time. Just saying that score again. St. Peter's 2 goals 3, 15 the home side, trailing the visitors, Sacred Heart, 7 goals, 5-47 by a margin of 32 points. On this Anzac round, Division 1 footy down at Caterers Oval, Sacred Heart leading this one currently by 32 points.
Strong first half from Shock, and Spock have it all to do. Just not taking the first option around contest. They need to give that option quicker, I think, Spock, and just move it a bit cleaner down the ground, because as we've seen, led by Cammy Rankin, and around the contest, especially Carlotta, they're very quick to close, apply the pressure, and it's been all Sacred Heart from there. So half-time, all the streams happening live right now. We'll bring you up to date with those half-time scores once we come back for the third quarter on Filming Footy. The Div 1 Adelaide Footy League is brought to you by Sportal and Hahn. Filming Footy for the Footy Starts, Dartfish, Farmers Leap, Roll the Dice Racing, Archie's, Farmers Leap Winery at Padthaway, Born to Build, Wakefield Sports Clinic, Bianco Mark of the Week. We saw an absolute special from Clayton Simons in that second quarter, and you can catch all those highlights on Between the Posts, our weekly footy show on the Filming Footy social media page and Adelaide Footy League Facebook page on a Wednesday with the man, the myth, the legend, Tommy Javor. And we're on the lookout still for our Snag of the Day, sponsored by Jag Meatworks. The winner of that will receive 1 kilo of gourmet sausages, if you don't mind. Pretty good efforts. A half-time here at Caterer Oval. It is Shock by 32 points. Plenty of work to do in the second half for St. Peter's. How will it pan out? Come back and join us after half-time in a matter of moments here on Filming Footy. Welcome back, wherever you are around this beautiful country or the world on YouTube. Filming Footy's live and exclusive coverage of the Adelaide Footy League. All games in Div 1 streamed live every Saturday afternoon. And of course the Thursday just gone because this is Anzac rounds and we are paying, of course, tribute and remembering all those who have served our country across this Anzac weekend at every level of footy and sport happening in Australia. Here at Caterer Oval in the eastern suburbs of Adelaide, it is St Peter's Old Collegians trailing at halftime to Sacred Heart Old Collegians 7-5-47, 2-3-15 on the Sport to Enhance scoreboard. This is Jack Moore and I'm joined by Jack Banwell. What a great first half for Sacred Heart, but the job's only half done.
Certainly right, the job is only half done. All signs are positive so far for Sacred Heart. They had all the ascendancy in that first half. As we go around the grounds to the other games that are being streamed live on Filming Footy, we have Teacher Gully versus Payneham at half-time. The score is 60-34. Teacher Gully winning that clash by 26 points at the halfway point. And down at Brighton playing Golden Grove, they find themselves 14 points down. The score is 23-37. The visitors are winning that one by 14 points.
And we're here, of course, thanks to Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, the Div 1 Adelaide Footy League Facebook page and website, Han Ultra Low Carb and Sportal, Dartfish, Farmers Leap, Roll the Dice Racing and Archies. And of course, we're on the lookout for our Goal of the Week thanks to Born to Build and the Wakefield Sports Clinic, and our Mark of the Week, Clayton Simons putting his name up in lights in that second quarter thanks to Bianco. And our Snag of the Day, new this year, who will jag the Snag of the Day, brought to you by Jag Meat Works, and the winner of that, 1 kilo of gourmet sausages. So who will snag the best goal of the day? We will see at the end of this match. Umpire Matty Harris has the ball in his hand. He's joined by umpires Cameron McLeod and Murray Carls, and it's second half action underway here at Caterer Oval.
Reiterating that score again, St Peter's the home side, trailing the visitors Sacred Heart by 32 points. And it looks to go inside 50 here for Sacred Heart again. Oh no, he's played on and he's been run down. That's a bright start there. That's Ben McGill, the 100-gamer. And 25. That's a bright start for St Peter's. Ben McGill just alive to the task there. And he's one of holding the ball for his team. And he's gone deep inside 50. It looks like Johnny Reid. Nope. Can't quite tell who that is. He finds himself about 45 out from goal, and that's just the bright start that St Peter's needed. Can they convert?
Just the start they were after. It was holding the ball and a great tackle from McGill not to fall in the player's back. He won himself the free kick in 25 because the Sacred Heart player picked it up and handballed to the wrong person.
Here we go, ball on its way. And that's straight through. The goal umpire does not move. The Hill get up and about, trying to will their side back into this contest. And that's the perfect start St Peter's were after. Not even a minute gone on the Sportal and Han Ultra Low Carb scoreboard. St Peter's 3 goals 3, 21, 26 points down to Sacred Heart, 7 goal 5, 47.
Just the start that Coach Michael O'Leary would have ordered out of half time. Probably gave the troops a bit of a rev up, and well, that's a goal in less than a minute when it sailed through, and they're off to an absolute flyer. So this game is on. 3-3-21, 7-5 shock, 47 for all their ascendancy. It's only a 26-point gap, and that's not much in modern day footy, but Rankin looks to atone for his misdemeanour moments ago, but he only does so much as turn it over. Here's Collie. Got to reach down, and he grabbed it. He pulled it in. That's a great mark. That's a bit of a different one, but it could go down as a Bianco mark of the day. He ran himself into trouble. The quick handball, Carruthers sold his teammate into a bit of a mischief there, and gee, all the time in the world to go back and get it inside 50. Just caught in 2 minds. That kick needed a hit. It found Payne. Sacred Heart off to the races. If they can just get a handball out here, and they can, off they go. Bang! They're away. Take it as he kicked. It was timed to perfection. Umpire was right there. And a bit of hands on body and body pressure. Picked up, kicked up. Goes higher than it does long. Hands wrapped around the footy, and getting up with it was Higgins, the vice-captain. Hands it out to his brother, Sammy. And away they go on the outer side, but it won't sit. And Lukey Dewhurst could possibly gather. He gets there eventually. Handball was back, and Sacred Heart are going to reload.
And it's with Ben Dewhurst. He handballs over the top. Well pressured as he kicked there, the Sacred Heart man. It's fallen to Stuart Ratway for St. Peter's, and they go deep inside 50. That's Johnny Reid over the back. That's just come to ground. The two St. Peter's blokes fumbled each other. Nick McGill with a good intercept mark. He plays on straight away. That's Charlie Allen. He sells Candy to one. Gets it on the boot. And that's intercepted by Ben Dewhurst. I've liked his game today so far. The neat left footer for Sacred Heart. He just slows play down momentarily. I think that's Benudo, the little fella. He plays on, tries to draw one, and he finds a short one. That's Cooper Brinkworth.
Foss Junior Brinkworth, and played some footy for Glenelg's under 18s, but haven't Spock come out with that tackling pressure, just catching shock a little bit off guard.
Yeah, that's right. Quite often defence is the
nice hands.
The counter punch for their offence. So if they can bring good defence, hopefully that can result in some score.
Fox.
As they come to half forward, Darcy Lecornu brings it down. He has one backwards and he honours it with a handball. He plays on. Oh, he's taken them all on right in front of us on the boundary. That was Bowen Payne, and he was tackled as he bounced it, and that's holding the ball.
Sensation umpiring.
I think that was smothered and bounced out, but the boundary umpire hasn't seen it. Colotto picks up clean below his knees. It's with Ethan Moore, tackled as he went to kick.
Tough tackle.
That was a great tackle, great defensive tackle. Rodos picks up cleanly, and Ben McGill's away, the 100-gamer. He has Carruthers, the recent goal scorer for St. Peter's, out with a one-on-one, and he does well to pressure and tackle, and the umpire calls for a ball up. So St. Peter's done well to exit from their defensive 50 and get it in a potential scoring position.
Darfish replay, you called it well, Jack. He was tackled as, he had a hand laid on him as he had a bounce down here, so free kick paid, and off we go.
Dewhurst with a flying spoil over the top. Brinkworth gets a fumble and clears. Big snap out of there. This is ball in dispute. Belpiero handballs out. Darcy Lecornu picks up well. Gee, a couple of times Lecornu's picked up the ball and time stopped around him. No one's wanted to tackle the big fella. Unfortunately, he's kicked that one out on the full.
Centre of gravity, isn't it, with him? He just takes a step to his left, a bit of a half step, just makes them think he's going one way, then goes back the other. But things have turned in this third quarter. It's a bit of a yin to the yang of that first half, and it's still a 26-point gap. So St. Peter's need to put this ascendancy on the scoreboard.
Yeah, certainly. McGill goes forward down the line from that inbound. But Sacred Heart look to have mopped this one up. No, they haven't. That handball's put him under immense pressure. Dewhurst picks up and he's tackled. He tried to draw the high one. Saw that shoulder dip down for the high one, but he wasn't able to get it. And that's good forward pressure by St. Peter's.
McGill in his 100th is just setting the tone here.
Just certainly is.
Buzzing around contest.
So, bit of a ruck contest, about 30 out from goal. McGill's tracking this one again. Gee, he's been in everything. Has he been caught high? The crowd on the hill thinks so. And I think they're maybe just giving the umpire what they thought of what that one was.
Bit of a height mismatch there, I think, and play on.
Another rock contest here. I think that's James Higgins, the vice captain. He's kicked a banana from nowhere, and that's gone straight through. I think that's certainly a contender for the Jag Meatworks goal of the day.
Indeed.
He certainly did jag that one out of nowhere. That was a great goal by the vice-captain there in James Higgins. Something out of nothing.
And the leaders have stepped up in this third quarter. Nick McGill mentioned him. Unley Jr. played some footy at the UTS Bats in Sydney last year, strangely enough. And Ben McGill in his 100th game as well in the headgear. The brothers have stood up, and James Higgins coming to the party there. The vice-captain played some footy for Norwood in the under-18s and reserves. And when you get in at half-time, haven't had the best half, the leaders are the ones that are setting the tone, and to lead by example. They're getting themselves back in this game. 20-point gap. A Jag Meatworks nomination for Snag of the Day. Those gourmet sausages will taste nice with a win. Now still a little bit off that though. 20-point gap to Shockers. Holding each other. Umpires found one. It will go the way of St. Peter's. It will be McGill. Now it will come back to Rodos. Get on with it. Clear instruction from Michael O'Leary. You can just hear the words and you can see the actions. They've swapped jerseys at half-time, these two clubs. McGill, he's come out like a man possessed. Put his helmet in some ice water, perhaps. The big ruckman comes out in the lead, but he couldn't get there. It's intercepted almost. Home crowd in best position. Umpire on the other side will give him the benefit of the doubt there. It's looked to be high, but it's in the right part of the ground. 30 out, plenty of numbers around this contest. They've pushed up. Next goal here will blow the roof off Caterer Oval.
Yeah, the supporters down there at the goal kicking end have certainly found their voice. They're trying to will their side back into it.
It's been all St. Peter's, scoreless in 8 minutes, the Shockers. And they've added 2 of their own, St. Peter's. Winning it nicely, Colorado dragged off it. He falls over and gets back up to his feet. That was Connor Hartshorn. And moving on with it, umpire's just going to do it all again. Tough stuff. Michael O'Leary will be very happy with this start. Alex Colorado and Clayton Simons not too happy with their start. Bounces from Allen's grasp. Rankin. That's going to just stay in. He's kicked to a 2-on-1 though and let go from the corner. Did he touch it? Umpire says yep, and we'll throw it in. Right smack bang between those two benches on the Sporto and Hahn scoreboard. It's Shock by 20 points. We've played 9 minutes here on Filming Footy on this Saturday afternoon.
They try and fool him with the last touch out of bounds, saying that he didn't touch it. As Vrodos gets collected high as he comes through for the ball there.
Good work
a little bit ginger to get to his feet.
Good work from Vrodos. If you're going to play some footy in the Central Australian Footy League for Rovers and up in the NT for Darwin, so some pretty aggressive leagues. He needs to hold his own, and that time he did.
He certainly knows how to play, Vrodos. 16 votes in the Keith Sims medal last year, tied for 7th. Certainly knows how to be a regular contributor. Oof. Lockwood just fumbles that one. He had it in the bread.
Off the ground!
Off the ground. That's Johnny Reid.
Reid, oh yeah, it was Reid.
That's his first of the afternoon, Johnny Reid.
Penny McGill's so happy he's doing reverse somersaults down there at half forward.
He is. It was a bit of a chaos ball. Another goal, something out of nothing there. Big sky kick.
What about
fumbled
this?
Mark from Lockwood, and Johnny Reid's done well to get boot on ball and scribble that one through for a snag. So
3 goals to zip in this third quarter. They have come out of the blocks possessed.
They certainly have, and the margin is all of a sudden just 14 points on the Sportal and Hahn ultra low carb scoreboard. Just 10 minutes gone, so plenty of time left in this third quarter for either side to continue the scoring.
So still a bit of work left to do. Sacred Heart, the benefit of their hard work, they've still got a couple of goals lead, but momentum in footy is huge. So coming out of the midfield, it was Vrodos handing off to Allen. Allen's kick went forward, but it came back his direction. Oh, it almost came back to Allen. Rankin got involved. Free kick will come back. And St. Peter's will be happy with that because Sacred Heart had a 3-on-none uncontested mark there if umpire called advantage. So well umpired. And it will come back to the scene of the crime. It'll be a 25-metre penalty. So something's happened there. A bit of abuse. I dare pick up because the ball was a long way away when the umpire
has got ball in hand.
Called the 25. So Vrodos to be on the cusp of his range where the boundary meets the 50. He's probably going to set it up. He's got stars in his eyes. He's going to set it up to the teeth of goal. It might have the distance. It's going to fall a bit short. Lockwood was there. At the back, another one! Look at those Spockos go! 4 in a row! Michaels, the guy that gives you 2 goals a game, he's off. 4 unanswered. They well and truly have swapped jerseys at half time. Sporto and Hahn scoreboard, 8-point game, and have we got ourselves a match?
Unreal forward craft there by Nick Michaels, just getting to the front of the contest as every good small forward should, and he reaped the rewards, getting that crumb from the fist of the defence.
The Smosh and Walkerville Jr. Fantastic. What a game.
All of a sudden, 2 points is the margin, and it's pretty much all square. So we have a game on our hands. Ethan Moore tries to clear from the clearance with a handball. Cam Rankin picks up and snaps. It's gone as high as it has far. Jackson Fox tries to mark in the chest. Probably should have got the jukes out. It was spoiled. Tracking after that one is Marcus Roberts, one of the goal scorers for Spock. And Bel Piero just hack kicks away, and it's gone out on the full.
So we haven't seen much from Kyle Otto or Simons, and Rankin's been second to the footy in this second half. So it's at their door now. Shock, they're being challenged.
No, certainly right. Their leaders are going to have to step up if they're going to halt this momentum from Spock. Rodos strong in the contest, gets a handball away. McGill was ill-directed with the hands, and that's a spearing ball to Carlotto, diving like a wicket keeper, couldn't get his hand on it. And the backman mops up for St. Peter's with a handball, put his teammate under immense pressure though. LeCornu, he kicked the belly of it when he had all the time in the world.
Wow.
And that was well marked by Hamish Allen. And he should clear to Stuart Rattray. If he can be clean, he has a runner, and he does. It's Nick McGill. He offers a hand to his brother, Ben McGill. And he gets it back for the 1-2, Nick, and all of a sudden they're inside 50, are they? John Reid fumbles the mark, what he probably should have taken. And Sacred Heart can just slow it down, or they play on straight away. Now it's with McDermott as they look to rebound.
Taking a breath, just needs to be a bit more composed. The perceived pressure. Shock have felt themselves under it.
I reckon if that was the first half, LeCornu would have kicked that one.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic
well.
afternoon and just rushed it a bit. Simons, there he is, standing up. Even numbers ahead of the footy as Spock push back to cover. There's Payne. Oh, he saw someone he loves. Sanderson going to unload from 50. Elects just to go short. LeCornu, body work early. Offhands, here's Fox. Can he get boot to ball? Nope. Spock all of a sudden, no, if you don't mind, sell me a bit of that. He bought every drop of it.
I had it. I bought it.
Up towards Lockwood. He's still picking the candy out of his shorts. Oh, that's a Bianco mark of the day. McGill sees Simons' effort in the second quarter and has the courage there going back with it.
The vice-captain just standing up for his side, getting in the hole.
Inspirational stuff.
Yeah, certainly collecting a body on the way through. And he finds something that I don't think Stuart Rattray
off.
He was off. But he takes off as he marks. And it's in the direction of Johnny Reid. Is it down there? Can't quite collect below his knees. And that's well mopped up there by the Sacred Heart defender. Goes in the McAuliffe direction. He has Lockwood tracking it down. And Lockwood's just taking him high. Lockwood thinks he didn't touch anything. McAuliffe fumbled it. But he's going to have a free kick. And he's going to pump this one long and deep inside 50. Who can fly? LeCornu comes across. Ooh. He had 90% of that, I would have thought.
Taking without it, well umpired.
Yeah, Kyle Otto.
It's Henry.
Taking Max Henry without the ball. And it's a free kick. He's probably got it 30 out from his own goal. Gee, I thought LeCornu had just about all of that to be paid the mark, but not to be.
Just needed to do more. Couldn't bring it in. And game on, it's a strong mark. We're seeing Bianco's left, right and centre here. Some strong grabs. And it's all about the importance of the mark as well. Gee, McDermott screaming instructions, and finally instruction was honoured. Hartshorn took it. That's Lockie, and he moves on to Fox now. He looks up and doesn't really see anything too inspirational. It's all everyone pointing towards the direction. And there's Kyle Otto. The coach comes up and presents, does well. Oh, deserved to mark it, did the work early. Higgins turns it over. Here's Fox. That's better. It's the Sacred Heart we were seeing in the first half. Moving it quickly with courage and decisiveness, and that was anything but.
Ben McGill again with the smother.
Oh, he just jabs it inside 50. It's going to be a mark here to be unlucky on Spock. Carlotto picks it up. Oh, he's taken. Handball 1, 2. Switched hands in mid-flight. Ground level. Don't dive on this. Everyone nervous to go to ground over the footy because they know they're going to be pinged. Umpire's been spot on with that rule today. Dangerous position. 25 out. Directly in front. Umpire's going to throw it up. Throw it in the air. 8-point game. St. Peter's quarter, but one goal from Shock and it undoes the damage. He tried to take him on. Well done. I think it might have been Higgins. It was the vice-captain. Said you can't get past here. He hands it up. The tackle was laid by his captain, Eddie Allen. So relieving kick on his full back line. Spock down by 8 points. He's played 17 gone. Short kick to Newman. Still inside D50. Finds Roberts. And now a kick just flirting with the boundary line. And the boundary line wins. So Sacred Heart going to reload inside 50 here.
What can he find? It's with Benuto, about 70 out from goal. He just puts a little pitching wedge in. Ed Allen, the captain, stands in the hole in front of Big LeCornu. And he's been called to play on. And he finds a target. I think that's Hamish Allen there, out in the other back pocket for St. Peter's. He honours a short one. That's Stuart Rattray. He's been involved in a bit early in this third quarter. the big fella. What can he do with it? He just puts another... Oh, Charlie Allen. Yeah, both hands in the back. Deserve the free there, the Sacred Heart man. Sitting in behind that one, Jackson Fox. He goes inboard to McDermott. Another nice left footer in this side. Finds a short one, and then he plays on immediately in the Kailotto direction. Lockwood with the spoil over the top. LeCornu off hands. And with all the hair in his face, he somehow managed to find the goal. And he's just put that one through, halted the momentum, stopped a run of 4 goals. And Darcy LeCornu kicks truly. So that brings the margin back out to 14 points. 6 goal 3, 39 St. Peter's. Sacred Heart 8 goal 5, 53 on the Sporto and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard. And geez, Sacred Heart needed that one, Jack. St. Peter's are coming.
Massively. They just brought it back in the trenches and just evened it up across stoppage, up the tackle pressure, and as we said earlier, they had that 5 or 6 goal gap built at half time. So even though St. Peter's kicked the first 4 of this quarter, just 1 goal going the way of Shock, just re-establishing a pretty safe lead now. But it's down the end of the ground. That Shock don't want it. St. Peter's dive in after it. McGill picks it up. Handballs, nobody in particular. Little nibbling kick off the ground. Oh, nice around the body. Who's he seen? Vrodos' kick. All the way. Teeth of goals. Picked up. Goal time, Michaels! Whatever you can do, I can do better. He's got his second for the quarter. Spock answer right back on the Sporto and Hahn scoreboard, and margin cut back to 8 as we tick towards time on.
Again, pure forward craft there from Nick Michaels. That's 2 goals for him off hands as a pure crumbing forward. That is unreal forward craft there by the little man.
He was quiet in the first half. Now he's got 90 goals to his name in his 49th appearance. So game 50 coming up next week for Michaels, former Smosh and Walkerville Junior. Just what Spock needed, because Sacred Heart had absorbed all the pressure and had a goal to show for themselves. They needed to get one back quickly and didn't fold. And exactly that's what's happened. Can they get the next? Where's the ball? It's buried under the feet of Belperio down there.
The important thing for St. Peter's as well today, 7 goals 3. When they've had the opportunities, they made the most of them. That would have been a key point of focus after kicking 19 behinds last week at Golden Grove.
Great call, Jack. Well observed. We mentioned in the first half, will Sacred Heart be made to pay for a couple of misses in front of goal? We saw Kailotto miss one from directly in front and a couple of others out of bounds on the full. St. Peter's, as you said, making hay while the sun shines. Just going behind the clouds though, and there's Rankin picking up where he left off in the first half. Strong tackle.
Ben McGill also in the thick of it again, laying another strong tackle moments ago. As we have another repeat stoppage in the centre of the ground. Rankin again. No, that's Joe Gluyas with his head over the nut there. Another strong tackle there. So the tackle pressure from both sides has gone up a notch in this second half. That's well tracked there by the St. Peter's man. Unfortunately, couldn't take it cleanly on his way out. LeCornu.
He's having a day.
Just collects the scrap kick inside 50. And he finds himself he'll be kicking from about 50 out. Straight in front. There still is not a breath of wind to speak of down here at Caterers Oval. Beautiful conditions for footy.
Coming up for his 4th on the day.
And let's see if he's got the journey in him. Most of his goals today been sort of from relatively close range. Let's see what he can do.
Mitchum Jr., and as we mentioned in the first half, played some footy at sample level for the base.
Strolls in, comes to 50, comes pretty close to the men on the mark. Strikes it well. Lockwood claiming he's touched it, but I think it's going to be given a goal. And it is. Lockwood's in disbelief.
Cream rising to the top here.
We'll go with the goal umpire's call there. That was too close to call.
LeCornu, 3 senior games in 2019 and played 17 reserves down at Brighton Road for Glenelg. And he's having himself a day, whether his hair's tied up or not. He's coming off for a rest. I think you'll find here he's deserved that. That's an understatement.
He's been an important in for Shocks in 2024. Yeah, he did.
Last year with knee surgery.
He kicked 22 goals in 17 games in 2022, so he certainly knows where the goals are.
Feels the void that Kalkiro leaves from a goal perspective. When he's back, they're going to be unstoppable up forward. Fighting for it, no one taking it. Finally it falls to Vrodos, who does well to get out of trouble. All the way across, and McGill, just like a mosquito buzzing around. When you go to flick him away, he's not there. Not looking for him, he arrives out of nowhere. Strong tackle from Stuart Rattray. And he wraps up, was it perhaps Benuto in there trying to get through, or was it Moore? Moore had his hands on it, he was wrapped up, he was going nowhere. So umpire throws it up and picked up again. Out the back, waiting was Collie, right place, right time. Ooh. They answered very quickly after the goal before last. And can they do it again? The smothering effort has been really strong. Moore, 1, 2, 3. Had it tapped by a St. Peter's player in the marking effort. The crowd's come to a bit of life down that end. St. Peter's home game, of course. Allen. Lockwood. Eyes on it, Lockwood! Oh, he's flown for a few, but he couldn't get a hand on it. And uncontested in the end as they look to clear. So Sportal and Hahn scoreboard 23.5. This quarter's gone pretty quickly in the back pocket. Fox has got it, and Shock have the lead by 14.
He certainly does, Jackson Fox. He's been okay for Sacred Heart today. Playing as a high half forward. He goes long down the line in the Kyle Otto and Hartshorn direction. None of them can mark. Good spoil. It's with Bowen Payne. He just kicks it long and tells McAuliffe, get in a foot race, son, and see what you can do. Oh. McGill opts to wait for it to bounce. He waits for the cavalry to arrive, and he takes on 1, 2, 3, gets a handball out to Nick McGill. And gee, he's done well. Charlie Allen has time. He should find a chest. He goes in the Ben McGill direction. Can he beat it before the line? He can. Taps it to his advantage. He's done extremely well there, Ben McGill.
Puts the Jets on.
He finds Ed Colley. He shrugs one. The big man, Jordan Lockwood's continued his run. He strolled into 50. Kicks it to a 2-on-2 even contest. Where's the ground level representation? There is some there. Or taken without it, has he? No. Umpire's called play on. And they work it out through Clayton Simons, the skipper. He clears. It's going in the Nick McGill direction. And he takes an easy chest mark on outer centre wing. Does he go fast, or does he put some speed back on the ball? 25 minutes gone. He probably needs to look for another forward 50 target and a goal.
Might be a long quarter. We've had 7 goals in this term.
Oh, that Johnny Reid off hands. He's been called holding the ball. He was there prior, not too sure.
Oh, the gasket was just vibrating and the umpires just relieved the pressure. It was about to pop inside forward 50. Sacred Heart to be saying, thank you, Mr. Umpire.
I think that's Sanderson down there with a strong tackle. He took a strong intercept mark moments ago, so he's been good down there, just trying to stem some of that pressure from St. Peter's. As it's come to centre wing on the outer side, and the umpire's called for a ball up.
Yeah, great umpiring. That last free kick on the Dartfish replay, he looked just to run through the tackle, and he couldn't get through. So that's your prior, and he didn't get a handball or kick, so well umpired.
Ethan Moore strong in the contest, got a handball away, but put his teammate under pressure.
Yeah, I do love this kind of umpiring. If you don't pay the holding the ball, it's repeat stoppage after repeat stoppage, and then little niggly little things, little tech foul stuff can happen, and get the ball moving, get the play moving. I love it.
Nick McGill goes deep inside 50. Ben Dewhurst probably should have taken the mark, but he gathered his own crumb. And I think that was Bradley Noble there, the big man with his nice touch out to his skipper on the outer side.
They're just holding up nicely in the past couple of minutes here, Shock.
So it's with Clayton Simons. He holds the ball aloft, and that normally signals, I'm only going down the line. I don't want anything to do with this. He goes in the Colorado direction. He couldn't mark. And his forwards couldn't quite keep that in.
So Wilson,
boundary throw in.
Wilson has the match up on the Cornu 1-on-1 as they get a few numbers back inside defensive 50. So sharp clearance from Shock, and it should be all 1-on-1 ahead of the footy. Carlotto's pushed back now as well.
Stuart Rattray clean below his hands, and it's that man again, Ben McGill. He takes off and he puts a low dart in to the Elvis Presley sliding Johnny Reid, and he takes a strong mark, and he's been paid for 25.
Oh, he's had a bit of a chat.
Right on the siren.
He's had a bit of a chat to the umpire. He might be marched 50. I thought I heard a second whistle there. He's blowing it for 3/4 time, and this, what a fillet.
if that is a 25, that's a big 25, and it's taken him to the top of the goal square.
Oh, this will be a zinger burger for Spock, right on the cusp of three-quarter time, as you call, Jack. Let's call this one through for us.
I've marked it down, and I don't need the eraser. I marked it with pen, and he put it straight through. Johnny Reid with his second of the quarter. And St. Peter's, 6 goals straight that quarter to Sacred Heart, 2 goals straight. Brings the margin to 8 points on the cusp of three-quarter time. 8 goals 3, 51 St. Peter's, trailing 9 goals 5, 59 Sacred Heart. Just saying again, 6 goals to 2 that quarter for St. Peter's. They got to rev up at half-time, and the coach got the response he wanted, and it has everything to play for here in this last quarter.
Just Dartfish replay, screen on that last free kick infringement and the abuse afterwards. Just got to be smarter than that. The umpires have been on top of this game, under their control, well controlled all day from an umpiring perspective. And you just got to know that late clock, it's going to be three-quarter time with that siren sounds, not to do anything silly. And I'm sure Clayton Simons and Alex Carlotto will be reinforcing that. We can just see here that Carlotto he's got his troops in very quickly, and he's laying down the law. They had a pretty solid margin at half-time. It was Spock up by 32, and as we turned for home at three-quarter time, they still had their nose in front by 8 points. What a fourth quarter we have. Come back and join us, won't you, on Filming Footy, Saturday afternoon, Adelaide Footy League. What a third quarter. That was out of the blocks. Didn't see that coming at half-time, but gee, the home crowd and Coach Michael O'Leary would be over the moon. Spock have closed it. It was 32 at half-time. We turned for home. 8-point game. Jack Moore here alongside Jack Banwell on the Filming Footy call on YouTube. All Div 1 games live streamed, live and free every week. So jump along there to watch the fourth quarter. But don't go anywhere because we've got a fourth quarter which is going to be special. So watch the replays of the other games after we're done here. Umpire has the ball, middle of the ground. Fourth quarter about to begin on this Anzac Day round. Shocked by 8 points. Fourth quarter. What could happen here? First goal this last term. Massive, you feel, in the context. Take home the chocolates. This is a massive, massive fourth quarter for Spock. Winless in the season so far. But have played Prince Alfred and Golden Grove. Two pretty good outfits. And Sacred Heart undefeated. They sit in third. It's a real 4-point tussle. Great tackle in the middle by Dewhurst. Coming through. And De Cesare took him down on a beautiful, strong tackle. So the Rucks go to work. Rodos and Rankin, two of the bulls for their teams. Simons. Quiet third quarter from the captain. On the back of his shoulder and had the arms wrapped around like a set of drapes. Here's McAuliffe. Had a pretty good day, one of their best. Simons, he's rising.
Nice kick.
You can tell he's had a bit to say to his troops at three-quarter time, and a couple of touches in the first minute. Shot for goal in one of the toughest pockets in Adelaide Footy League. Can Jackson Fox kick truly? We'll find out.
Very tight angle.
73 goals.
45 metres out.
Indeed. 73 goals in 40 games for Fox. This would be a bit of a dagger to Spock. You'd back him in to at least get the distance, so it's a smart kick. He put it up to the teeth of goals. Oh!
LaCornu.
Came out of nowhere, LaCornu. Spock might have thought Fox was going for goal. He centred it. Really smart kick. Beautiful mark. Two hands, and this man is putting himself up in lights for those Archie thongs. Single-handedly dragging Sacred Heart over the line. He's got 4 today. LaCornu, oh, that is delightful. What a day Darcy's having. Back in the team and making up for lost time. Sport to enhance scoreboard, all important first goal of this fourth. See Shock move along to a 14-point gap, 10-5-65. St. Peter's 8-3-51.
Super grab there by Darcy LaCornu, just drifting across the front of the pack in and amongst 3 or 4 and taking a strong mark and converting his work. So that's number 5 for him today, Jack.
Indeed.
He's been very good, and he's made the most of his opportunities too. Apart from that big belly, I think he's gone 5 goals straight, no behind. So very good for Darcy LaCornu. Let's see how Spot can respond. Rattray, he's been lively. He goes to Ed Colley, unfortunately trips over. Clayton Simons picks up and handballs McDermott. Rankin under pressure straight away, tackled by Rodos. Driven into the ground. Nick McGill can mop this up if he wants. He goes to ground. And he's been taken in a strong tackle.
Umpires letting them play in this first few minutes.
This Division 1 stream brought to you by Div 1 Adelaide Footy League. Scoreboard brought to you by Sportland Hahn. Filming footy from Dartfish, Farmers Leap, Roller Dice Racing. And remember, our best on ground winner today will win a set of Archie Stongs. So the ball's in dispute on half forward flank for Sacred Heart. Nick McGill does a few spins and he eventually gets a handball out. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. Colley shrugs one, gets a handball away. And they're away here with Rodos. He goes deep inside 50 in the redirection. Great mark coming back and across. That's Brandon Smith.
That's a Bianco nominee. We've seen a few Bianco nominees for Mark of the Day. It's going to be a free kick up at forward 50. This is a massive, massive disadvantage here.
Yeah,
someone's given away a free kick for Sacred Heart. They're going to gain about 70 metres. So we'll take a look on the Dartfish replay. Shot go forward and on the lead, making them pay full tote odds for that infringement. We'll take a look on the Dartfish replay, Jack, as you take us through this set shot for the coach, Alex Carlotto.
Beautiful kick there. I think it was Tom McDermott with the lace out. He had a silver platter on that one. And Carlotto with strong hands out in front. Takes a strong mark, and you'd back him in. We're right behind this one here, Jack. He's on a slight angle. 45 out. Looks good off the boot. Can it drift back? It just can't. And it's gone through to the far side for a minor score.
Straight kick just off target, wasn't it?
It was. Let's not take anything away from that Brandon Smith mark. That was a super mark to stem the flow for St. Peter's. Getting back in the hole. He's been in the best players in the first 2 weeks for Shock, so he's started his 2024 campaign very, very strongly. As they go back inside 50, here's Shock, and it's away through McGill. St. Peter's able to intercept. Let's see what Reed can do. It's unfortunately gone through his legs, and it's that man Smith again. He mops this one up. He goes to Luke Dewhurst, and he disposes well out to the skipper in Simons.
Having a good quarter, Simons.
He is certainly on that wing, the skipper. Brinkworth driving ball forward. Well spoiled there by Nick Wilson, I think it was, in that matchup with LeCornu.
Just then, Shock have just gone up a few gears.
Yep,
they've
certainly
just jumped
have.
into the Mercedes. And they've just clicked it into first gear in this fourth quarter. The question is, St. Peter's, 8th place on the table last season. Can they go with them?
Oh, the umpire's pulled a free.
That'll help. That'll help. Free kick going the way of De Cesare down there, taking height.
Lucky that first one was paid. I think Rankin would have been asking for a free kick. He looked like he'd been driven without the ball.
He was off as well. Open goal ahead.
Now De Cesare just slows it down temporarily. It's with Ben Piero.
Any relation to Alessandro?
Oh, no.
Del Piero?
Del Piero, nah.
Del Piero.
I'm not too sure about that one.
Close enough. I'm sure he'll claim it.
Yeah, we'll claim it. See, Francesco Totti was in Australia the other day.
So they get a bit of a Giants jersey, I think.
From Canelo,
That's a giant tackle. Strong one. No, I wouldn't be able to place at AFL level that attack on the footy. Umpire circling, hovering, waving the arms. Clearing the space and rewarding the tackle.
I think that's
St. Peter's haven't put the cue on the rack yet. They believe they can win this.
I think that's De Cesare again, so he's getting himself involved, doing the tough stuff for his side.
Need the next goal, you'd reckon, though, Jack?
Yeah, certainly. He's been called to play on. Who's that? He's flown high. James Higgins, the vice captain. Louis with the head strapping there. Kicked it forward. Simons again, the skipper, putting his head over the nurry. And he's been tackled well there by... That's Ed Colley.
Colley gets up.
He's been super, Ed Colley, one of St. Peter's better players today.
Walkerville Junior, one of about 8 Walkerville Juniors in this box side.
There you go, the Walkerville Footy Factory. It's with Ethan Moore. He flicks the handball out, tracking that one down.
Might go to the bunker there as he scored a try. Oh, he's diving after that footy as it crossed the line.
He was.
No try, and the boundary umpire will throw it in.
If St. Peter's are going to get this ball out, they're going to want to use it wisely. There's a 2-on-1 here, just in front of us, in front of Johnny Reid, so they can't just bomb it high, but I think that's what they're going to do. Doesn't go that far.
Nice body contact.
Plenty of numbers around here for Sacred Heart. And Bradley Noble mops that one up. Handballs to Lachlan Hart-Shawn, and a one-handed grab.
Oh, just on the full.
Being called out on the full in those deceptively weird-shaped pockets.
Yeah, very narrow.
In front of the members.
The boundary umpire in the perfect position, as they say.
Oh no, that's not what you want.
Deary me.
He's trying to bite off something there, and Ethan Moore unselfishly finds Darcy LeCornu once again.
Man of the moment today.
This for his second of the quarter and his 6th of the game. So shaping up the Phillies bag up with a nice big bag of goals today.
As a kid, I'm not sure about you, but whenever parents went to LeCornu's, the furniture store, used to have a little bit of fun in the old play pit, the ball pit there.
Too young for LeCornu's,
and
mate.
Oh, indeed, yeah, I'm showing my age there. Darcy's having a fun play time today here at Caterer.
That looks good off the boot. Can it hold its line? It can. Finger to the sky. He celebrates. That's number 6. Half a dozen for Darcy LeCornu.
What a day.
And Shock, all of a sudden, just relieving the pressure. They go out to a margin of 21 points. 8 minutes gone on the Sportle and Hahn Ultra Low Carb scoreboard in this last quarter.
So 2 in the term, 6 on the day. You called it well, Jack. He is having himself quite the day. And let's just say I think his feet might feel nice and snug in those Archies. Thongs going the way of the best on ground. At the moment, 21-point gap. If you got 6 goals, you are the difference. Plus a few more. Back in the middle. Spock need the next one, or you fear the game is gone. Shock want to throw. It looked pretty throw-like. Umpire saying to the players, you know what, boys, you want the points? Go get them yourself. Untouched kick, though, and last possession will go the way of Tap. Mark said umpire doing his job beautifully. Needed to take it above his head, did well. That was Maxie Henry, another Walkerville junior. Played some footy in Murray Bridge for Imperial. The under-18s at reserves level. Need a goal. Need it now. Need it quickly. Oh, Tap got up. Just run himself under the flight of the footy. And running onto it was Dewhurst. He was taken down into the right end of the ground. Who's around here? Who's going to get the next snap on goal? McGill being shadowed by Dewhurst. Ben. Notice how dangerous he is. Kick out of clearance and stoppage. Moore had it. Oh, he's been hassled by McAuliffe, and it's going straight down the throat of Connor Hartshorn, who, that's an interesting kick. Not sure where he learned to kick like that.
Oh, well done,
one of my kicks back in primary school, that one. Just got it out on the boot.
McGill.
Going the way, McGill. He just set it up a bit short. Umpire's going to pay a free kick in the back. And a lifeline for St. Peter's here.
Ooh.
Surveys the options, backs himself and goes short, finds De Cesare.
No, that was beautifully worked there by Carruthers. He just didn't blaze away and go to the top of the square. You got big blokes down there like the skipper in Simons, Tap, Hartshorn. You can't just bomb it. They're going to have to be smart if they're going to find some marks inside 50. Looks like Shock have just plugged one back in general play. And he found a nice mark there, De Cesare, albeit in the pocket, but he's going to back his teammate in to kick truly from the pocket.
On the lead, former Kenilworth player. Spent some time at West Adelaide in the 18s and reserves. Lock it in! Lock it in, Eddie! That's a goal.
Big goal, big goal.
Massive goal in the context of things. If Shock got the next, would have been all she wrote. That's a massive swing. It's back to a 15-point gap on that Hahn Super Dry Sportal scoreboard. Shock 11-6, 72. Spock 9-3, 57. We've just ticked past 11 and a half played in this fourth quarter. That's a huge goal.
Yeah, massive goal. And well converted there by De Cesare. That's a very tight angle in a tight pocket. And he's done well. He needed to kick it, and he did, so he stepped up for his side.
It's the Dutch and the French, Lecornu and De Cesare.
Back in the middle here.
Going goal for goal in this fourth.
The vice-captain in James Higgins. Tap done well there on the lead.
Beautifully done.
Just outbodied his opponent and got to the fall of the ball. Took a strong mark.
Floating across half back in this quarter, Simons. Just setting that play up nicely.
Let's see what he can do with it. Looks like he's going to go long down the line, and he does. That's Simons to a big pack of players. Lockwood with the spoil. Tracked by Vrodos, and he's away. Head down, bum up, and he's kicked long inside 50. Sanderson spoils. Does he know? He just took the mark. That's a few intercept marks now for Zach Sanderson, so he's been well in defence. And he goes to the coach in Kyle Otto.
Yeah, just took it off the hands of his teammate McDermott.
He did, yeah, and
he pulled rank.
He did pull rank, yep. I think he was going to say something, but realised it was the coach and thought, better not if I want to play next week.
Well called.
McAuliffe, front of the pack, does what a small forward should do, and kick forward. Hartshorn tracks it down, but the big fella can't quite get below his knees. Spock looked to mop this up, but Sacred Heart. That's McAuliffe who intercepted that handball when he did the kick on centre wing here, so that's excellent work rate by the small man.
Like a greyhound wearing the number one rug, just tracked the boundary line like the rabbit.
I think the umpire's found a blood rule here.
Yeah, we do. So time to thank our matchday sponsor, which is, of course, is Classic Clashes. Proud to announce the media truck is now live and operating. Just Google Classic Clashes, celebrating grassroots greatness. A huge opportunity in season 2025 for advertising and naming rights. So ball at the right end of the ground for Shock.
Rankin again with his head over it, as he's done all afternoon. Just wears another tackle for his side. Just getting some more seconds off the clock. As Shock look to see this one out. 15 points to the margin. It's certainly not over. 15 points to the margin and 14 minutes gone in this last quarter.
Yeah, said it prior to that De Cesare goal, but again, rings true. Next goal, Spock need it as well.
De Cesare and the coach Carlotto in the ruck. Again, just another repeat stoppage. Both sides just locking horns for this last couple of minutes. See what St. Peter's can do. They're the ones that need to do all the attacking. Ben McGill tracks this one down. He handballs it straight to his opposite number in Don Vasari. Umpires called play on. Gee, I thought...
Let's take a look on the Dartfish replay there.
Live, I thought the St. Peter's man had the fair chunk of that playing in front. But then it was Noble come over the top, tried to claim it. But the umpires said, nah, I'll have it for a ball up. I'm not too sure what happened there. About 50 out from Shock's goal. And all of a sudden, Nick McGill has it. Out of side, in acres of space. Can he find a mark? Tap. Yeah, I thought it was good body work, but maybe just the little man fell a little bit too easily with the strength of the big fella. Nick McGill again, following up his work, gets a handball receive, and that's not his finest kick. That's going to go out of bounds on the full.
What a letdown.
Yeah, certainly they would have wanted to found a chest. He's normally a good ball user. He's been good today.
Yeah,
one of Spock's better players.
Reed had just leaked out the back and was just wanting it over the back. Just probably 5 or 10 metres more than the kicker could produce. And late fourth quarter, 15 and a half gone now. This quarter's going by quickly. Spock need the next. It's down the right end, but in the wrong hands. This is Benny Dewhurst, his first season for Shock.
It's been good today.
Joining his brother Luke, who played his first season for Shock last year. Slightly tunnelled, but it was more in the marking effort. Not really a push, I didn't think, in the marking contest. Rubs the back and gets on with the business. So, state of the game, 16 minutes, 15 points. 3 goals to win. Probably about 8 minutes of game time left here. Maybe more. Clearances in contest, all important. There's Payne.
Good body work.
Picked himself up, well called. Did the work early, Benuto. Diminutive figure, 3 last week. Nothing today, but he's worked up the ground well.
Been good, Rat Ray. Intercept mark.
Yeah, very nice, the hyphen. HSR. Goes back. They can't waste too much time doing this. But if it's going to lead to a goal, then go for it. Henry. Got numbers just pushing across the ground. A few of the Shock players look a bit tired. Spock can't take advantage. It's in dispute. Paddling towards the boundary. Disguised it beautifully there. Wanted the boundary and got it. So throw it in, says the umpire, directly on halfway here at Cater Oval. We've played 16 and a half minutes. Shock have a 15-point lead.
Sean Tapp here, about 50 metres off the contest. Going to mop anything up that comes long and high. But Shocks win the clearance anyway. Oh, St. Peter's bench calling for a free kick, and that's a big barrel launched inside 50 in the Colorado direction. He just fumbles on the second attempt. It falls to Tom McDermott. Sharp left foot snap, bounced the wrong way. It's gone left when it needed to go right, and that's gone through for a minor score. Just puts the margin out by 1, 16 points.
No option now but to go long and strong down the guts. Got to get on with it.
We love to see it. Give us a torp.
Not too much time left. Yep. Get onto this and pop it over the back where the umpire is. And the one-on-one's away. That's exactly what he does. Drop punt. Coming to meet it. Body work early from Higgins, but Rankin was there waiting for the scraps.
Who else?
Picked up, or not his finest, on what has been a fine afternoon for LeCornu. Boundary line's going to win. Oh, it's just going to bounce before and dribble, and out it goes. Turning into a Sacred Heart win, you feel. 16 and a half gone. For some reason, the scoreboard clock has stopped. Not sure why. Hope someone's got the clock ticking as their job, because the scoreboard starts up again. There lost about 20 seconds. So I'll see last year, I should say, when Spock were down by 3 goals with about 21 minutes played, and they came back and won that game against Brighton. Anything's possible here.
Here we go. They'll take plenty of confidence out from that one. So that's intercepted. That's James Higgins tackled and didn't dispose of it correctly, and he's been called for holding the ball. That's Ethan Moore. the reigning best and fairest winner for Shock, standing up when his team needs him.
Yeah, big tackle, stop the break.
He's about 70 from home. Tight to the boundary. He just pops one up, says someone mark it. Louis Benito, off hands, very good crumb, flying shot at goal. Not quite there. Nick McGill mops up and puts his teammate under immense pressure, De Cesare, and he's just had to wear a tackle by, I reckon that's Cam Rankin again with the orange boots. It's probably his 8th or 9th tackle for the afternoon. He's been in the thick of it in the middle of the ground.
A little bit quiet in that third quarter, but he's definitely come back in this fourth.
Now St. Peter's clear. Johnny Reid in a 2-on-1. He's tracking that back. That's Dewhurst.
Got to hold it
through hands, but that's been intercepted by Newman.
Got to go. 18 minutes.
Ben McGill waits for it. Ted Newman mops up his work. Ed Allen clean hands and great handball. Oh, he's been ping-ponging the ball.
He's
I thought he got a handball
Take
away.
a look on the Dartfish replay. Looked handball-like. Umpire said it was a throw. And that might be last rights for St. Peter's. That might have been the last chance.
Not too much argument there from the skipper. He may have thrown that one out. Lachlan Hartshaw goes down the line. See if Spock can mop this up and generate something again. Charlie Allen just fumbles. McDermott goes deep inside 50 with a hat kick. And that's intercepted. And they need to go fast. And they initiate a switch. It's with the hands of Nick McGill. Geez, had a stack of it off half-back today for Spock.
Yeah, he's been close to their best. Along
Finds
with his
his way
brother.
out.
Eddie Allen, the captain as well, has been up there. And Vrodos. The midfield hasn't been that badly beaten for Spock. It's been the size battle. I think the advantage has gone the way of Shock when it's gone forward as well. They've managed to spoil a lot and managed to take intercept marks and really set their play up from defensive 50 Shock today.
Again, they're just Shock with their defensive structure. They drop one behind the ball and Spock can't quite find the open chest, and that spare man's able to float across.
19 minutes on the clock.
Out of bounds. 16 points the margin here. It's on outer centre wing. Oh, the umpire's paid a free kick. Yeah, just held on to him too long there. They're not happy. They need to get their minds on the game. Couple of rash free kicks in the last few minutes here for Spock.
He do well just to slow it down here, Benito. He does that nicely. Goes lateral and finds a tap out there, or it might be Noble.
You can see a lot of fingers whenever Shock are getting the ball in slow play, just fingers pointing backwards, taking all the seconds off the clock they can.
McGill and Benito just going at each other off the ball here. We'll keep an eye on that. McGill put Benito to the ground, but not enough force to draw a whistle. In it goes. Sacred Heart, they feel like they've got the chocolates pretty much all locked up now, and a crucial away victory. They'll look to remain undefeated as it goes all the way to the teeth of goal. And another behind on the board, so 17-point gap. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen right now. 20 and a half gone. We've only had 3 goals in this quarter, so time is probably going to be against them here, St. Peter's. It's the way they got to go, though. Straight down Main Street. And that's a mark. That's a Bianco. Shawnee Tapp standing up in the right spot and putting himself in the hole. Inside 50 it goes again. Spall from behind. Benuto wants himself a goal for the road. Had 3 last week. Nothing doing today. McGill running onto it, giving all in his 100th. Goes for it again. The nice, neat, nimble, one-handed pick up beneath his bootlaces. But they push numbers back, and they can afford to do that over the head of Simons. The kick came from Tapp. All the way towards forward 50. Wrapped up nicely. It'll be a stoppage. A metre in from the boundary, and you feel that Sacred Heart now have done just about enough.
Sacred Heart will just be looking to take the rest of the minutes off the clock. 21 minutes gone. Final term. 17 points to the margin. If Spock can generate something, they need to generate it now. McAuliffe sells a nice bit of candy, tight in the pocket, and laces out his teammate. Unfortunately, couldn't take the grab. And Spock looked to clear. They get a handball away. It's Marcus Roberts who clears straight in the Zach Sanderson direction. Nick Michaels, Stuart Rattray pressuring the Sacred Heart men. And the big fella lays a nice tackle.
So we're approaching the siren now. 22 minutes gone. Three goals in the quarter. Not too much time left, and our eyes cast to our Archies best on ground. We'll take a bit of a think of that and see who will take home the Archies. But Rodos hasn't given up.
Cam Rankin again.
Just bit off a bit more than he could chew. It's been like that all day. St. Peter's spurt in that third quarter, but it's been a pretty good victory for Sacred Heart. They've deserved it. They've come away from home, put the margin up in the second quarter, and the scoreboard pretty accurately reflects Sacred Heart's dominance. 17-point gap. Final siren approaching. Benudo wants that goal for the road. He's not going to go home without it. He was tackled, and a pretty good call for mine from the umpire holding the ball. So next week, just taking a bit of a look ahead as St. Peter's build an attack, and they've let themselves down once again. Tackles are coming in. Oh, they haven't given up. St. Peter's tough away trip to Payneham next week, and then face Tea Tree Gully. So they're going to be 0-3 after this one, and that's going to be a tough couple of weeks. Meanwhile, for Sacred Heart, it's a match up against Brighton at home and Broadview away. They'll be looking to go undefeated through the first 5 rounds of the Adelaide Football League season. Clayton Simons, the captain, has it. As we approach siren time, 23 and a half gone. Here's Gluyas.
Gluyas with it. There it is. There's the siren. Clayton Simons, the skipper in front of us. Double fist pump. That was a tough win for Shocks, but they did all the damage in the first and second quarters, keeping St. Peter's, the home side, to 2 goals at half-time, going into half-time with a 32-point margin. St. Peter's were electric in that third quarter, kicking 6 goals to 2, but ultimately couldn't carry on with that fight back in the last quarter, going down by 17 points.
As you said, that second quarter, 6 goals to 2. That's exactly where it was won.
Yep, certainly. Just reiterating that score again, the home side, St. Peter's 9 goals 3, 57, going down to Sacred Heart Old Collegians 11 goals 8, 74. Sacred Heart getting the victory and moving to 3 wins, 0 losses by 17 points.
St. Peter's now in a bit of a hole, as we said, 0-3. We take a look at the goal chart for this afternoon. Roberts for St. Peter's, Charlie Allen, Carruthers, Higgins and De Cesare all with singles. Reid and Michaels with doubles. For Shock, Carlotto started the game and set the tone with 2 of his own in the first quarter. Hartshorn had 1. McAuliffe added 2 on the afternoon. Lacornu with 6, and I think he's got his hands on those Archie thongs. And Simons with a Bianco Mark of the Day nominee and a goal from the pocket in that second quarter as well. As we were saying during the call, a scoreline which fairly represents both teams' effort. Third quarter fight back from Spock, but left themselves a bit too much to do because Shock put the foot down and set the game up in that second quarter. Jack?
No, certainly you've pretty much hit the nail on the head. Some poor skills probably were St. Peter's detriment there in the first half. Quite a few goals for Sacred Heart coming from skill errors from St. Peter's. But when they cleaned it up in the third quarter, gee, they looked damaging. As we said, they kicked 6 goals to Sacred Heart's 2. So they've shown in all 3 games this year that they can play some really good footy, but ultimately just can't string it together for 4 quarters.
So the Advertiser preview in the season preview for these 2 teams had Spock at 9th, being relegated. Had Sacred Heart at 7th, a bit down the table from where they would be aiming, and at 3 and zip. Well, you'd be hard-pressed from here to miss finals very early in the season, but if you ask Clayton Simons and Alex Carlotto, they'd have their sights set on yet another finals run, and, well, that was the Melbourne, or not Melbourne, I guess, the Port Adelaide of last season, up there at finals time and then out in straight sets. They'd be, their aims would be at least winning a final this year.
Yeah, no, certainly. They've got all the tools, as they've shown today, that they can certainly do some damage in this competition. Again, only conceding 57 points. They had the second best defence in the competition in 2023, and that defence, the first time I've seen it today, it looks to be rock solid. So I do not see any reason why Sacred Heart can't go on to either better their record or at least get to the finals and win a final.
So congratulations to Ben McGill, 100th game not to be with the win this afternoon But our filming footy call of the Adelaide Footy League has been brought to you by scoreboard sponsor Sporto and Hahn. Ultra low carb, great taste. How good? Our footy stats thanks to Filming Footy and Dartfish. Our Farmers Leap Winery Padthaway Coach of the Week. Roll the Dice Racing Media Award for Player of the Year. Goal of the Week brought to you by Born to Build and the Wakefield Sports Clinic. A few Mark of the Week nominees this week brought to you by Bianco, and our Snag of the Day brought to you by Jag Meatworks. Got a couple of nominees for that. Clayton Simon snapped from the pocket, and one of the 6 from the Cornu might be good enough to win himself that. Me and, Jack and I should say, we'll discuss that. All the winners of those awards you can see on our weekly footy show Between the Posts, hosted by the myth, the man, the legend, that is Tommy Javor, on the Filming Footy social media pages, and our 5 live streams of Div 1 every Saturday brought to you by Archie's Dartfish, programs to fit classic clashes and Filming Footy. For our footy stats, Jack, pretty good afternoon here at Caterer Oval, and a handy win for Shock as they move to 3-0 on the season.
No, certainly a handy win. Strong away from home as well. It wouldn't be a tough place to come, St. Peter's, and Sacred Heart have done extremely well to get the chocolates today.
So 11-8-74, Sacred Heart 17-point winners here in round 3 in the Adelaide Footy League. St. Peter's 9-3-57. A pretty handy win as they move to 3-0, and Spock have problems at 0-3. On behalf of Jack Banwell, our camera operator Harry, and all the Filming Footy team, head on to YouTube now and watch the replay of all the Div 1 games from this week. And until next Saturday, whatever you may be doing this week and the rest of your week, have a fantastic week. We'll be back here same time, same place next week for Adelaide Footy League footy on Filming Footy. Have a great week.